All right, folks, we're going to get it started. Hello, hello, hello. Now we got some more folks in. You could put a one in the chat if you like the song, Sweet Honey, I put in there. All of that is AI, I must tell you. But it's all inspired by yours truly, R. Payne. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, you guys see the title we got going on here. And we've been talking about Karmelo Anthony for ever since the verdict and before. The saga continues. And I just thought some things that I want to say on this. And I've been on some panels here on the Black Man Unfiltered Network. And we've had some good lives on this thing. So I just want to have one more. And this way, I want to put it the way I see it. I think Karmelo the world failed him at 4 levels. There's 4 levels of failure for my man. And we're going to go through each level. We're going to talk about it. I have some clips. You know, there's a whole bunch of people who are better at articulating this stuff than me. But, you know, but the bottom line is he got failed on these 4 levels. And we're going to, can you guess what they are? What levels I'm talking about? If you can, put them in the chat. You know, because I'm going to tell you what they are anyway. But if you could beat me to all 4 from top to bottom, at which levels was he failed? You know, there's some failures to go around for everybody in this whole saga, right? And unfortunately, you know, he's the victim of all of that stuff. And at some point, he's the perpetrator. You know, so he's not alone with this, but he's not the only one to blame, okay? And so we could go through some of them, you know, without further ado, because I got some clips. They're going to take a little while to play and things of that nature. But at the first level, and I'm not going to get into the detail because we're going to talk as we go. I think the culture failed him. At the top, very top level, Black culture failed this guy, just like it's failing so many other Black men and women, young boys and young girls. Our culture is trash at so many levels. And when I say it's trash, that doesn't mean there's no good stuff at it. But what's being portrayed around the world is the lowest common denominators. You know, all the folks who are doing great, nobody's giving them no real big pub. You know what I'm saying? It's mostly just trash out there. Okay? You know, so we need to be honest about that because we'll never get past go unless we can understand the kind of levels of the way we operate throughout the world, especially in America, that gives us a horrible persona around the world. Now, some of it is just pure racism, but that is being kind of disingenuous because we know that we're the purveyors of a lot of our own pain. We know that. Okay, so the community is hurting from our music to what is permeating all over the internet, our cultural war, our man against woman war. All this shit is trash, man. It all is. There's almost nothing good coming out of it. Nobody wants to be married. Nobody wants to have kids in wedlock. We just want to put more and more bastards out on the street. And we expect better results later on. And then if we're not doing that, we're going to the clinic and getting rid of them. Okay, but the people who are going to the clinic, getting rid of them are probably some of the people who should be having kids in wedlock. You know, so they're making an economic decision because they're not going to be able to live the top life if they have a kid to raise, which is the best thing you could produce for the future, a productive human being. We get rid of them. You know, so our culture is just trash, right? So we got the Jews, their culture, they have culture, right? The Asians, they have culture. You can grab onto it. You can see it. You can feel it. A lot of Hispanics, the Latinos, they got culture. You could feel it. You could see it, right? And it just go on and on. The Indians, right? The East Indians, there's a lot of culture there, right? You can see it. You can feel it. You could hope to be a part of some of that, right? But who do we have? We got Meg the fucking Stallion. We got 21 Young Boy or 21 whatever, the Savage and NBA Young fucking Boy. What do we got? What do we have? Hey, don't give me some poet and some of all this shit that nobody knows. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to have some clips that will tell you that goes just purely to the culture. We don't own the communities we live in. We don't even have a vested interest in our own community. That's probably the most debilitating part of it. These are the things that failed Karmelo. Even if his parents got out of the hood and moved to a place where it's supposed to be better life, they took this shit with them. And unfortunately, that's what happens with a lot of us, right? We get a little bit of money, and the first thing we want to do is move away from all the blacks. So who do they got to look up to? The doctors are out of the neighborhoods. Engineers are out of the neighborhoods. All the people who think they want a better life are out of the neighborhoods. Right? So Karmelo was one of those entitled kids, probably living in a household where there's gentle fucking parenting and a man who was on the coattails of his wife who, let me just segue a little bit. I got all this shit for you fucking people who hate baby boomers, who say that we were just calling our women and all that. This is what I don't understand. You're the same people, especially the women, who said that all the women who got married back in my day were slaves to their men. We're this, we're that. The men, they wouldn't have married a man if they didn't have to. And at the same time, you talk about, the men were weak back then. It was happy life. That's bullshit. It's just bullshit, because I know that's not my reality. But guess what I learned? There was enough baby boomers who fed into some of that shit to make a difference. Wasn't the most. So the culture is trash. And we can't even come to grips with it, because you know what? In all of these panels and everywhere you go, I haven't seen one fucking panel anywhere that just talks about the black communities in dire straits because of our own doing, not because of slavery 865 million years ago. We're talking about right now, or, we are some of the purveyors of our own downfall. And we can't, and it's so hard for people to admit that. That doesn't say that there's no racism and the white man and oh my God, the white man. Sometimes you just got to get tired of it. I bet most of you people have never faced real racism at all. Ever. You just heard somebody else tell you about it. So, all right. So the second level of people who failed this young man was his parents. They failed him. You know why they failed? Because they bought into this blackity black bullshit. When their son was in trouble, they had a whole bunch of race-baiting assholes who told him the best thing that you could do is get some race-baiting asshole to be your spokesman. And I got a good clip to tell you why they cost Karmelo Anthony probably 30 years in jail. If they would have made one different decision, if the man was on his square and took the mic away from his wife and said, hey, honey, listen, I got this. And I'm going to be unemotional about how I'm going to handle my kid. But no, he's a pussy following around his wife like he doesn't know what he was doing. And she was making all the critical decisions because he wasn't able to stand up and say, hey, babe, sit your ass down. Probably not on camera, by the way. And say, let me handle this. In some stoic fashion as a man. You know why men should be in charge of their households? Because we have the responsibility for the household. And some of you might get this, and some of you people might not get it. The worst position anybody could be in, man or woman, is to have responsibility with no authority. And there's so many black households, with the few that we have that are intact, where the men acquiesce their leadership to their women. So, but when shit hits the fans, he's still responsible. But he has no responsibility, no authority to make the decisions. I tell you what, and I'm not a barbarian in my house, man. My wife has a freedom like anybody else. But you know where I got this shit from, where I really understood it before I got married? On the job. On the job. I told these guys, don't ever give me an assignment where you're telling me what I need to be responsible for. I want the authority to make decisions. And that includes spending some money if I have to. So I didn't take any jobs that I didn't have a budget and some people to help me. So, get that shit straight. Nobody, the men or women, should be taking responsibility for anything if you don't have any authority over the out fucking come. In too many Black households, the men have responsibility with no authority because they're pussies. Do you hear what I'm saying? Oh, my wife is going to leave me. Oh, my wife is this. You know what? You'd be better off. Anyway, so I'm just saying. So the second thing is his parents. I got some clips for that. I got clips for that. The third thing was his lawyer. His lawyer was trash. You know why? Because they didn't spend the $600,000 they got on a lawyer. Whatever they did with the money, it didn't go to give them the best lawyer that they could buy. This guy was I don't know how bad. I don't want to disparage him. I don't know nothing about him. All I know is that he wasn't the best lawyer. Not enough objections, not enough character witnesses, not enough this, not enough that. Not even enough to understand that you don't ask questions that you don't already have answers to, especially from your own witnesses. And by the way, how did a murder charge get put out there anyway? I don't care what the DA said. They should have been negotiating for the fact that, hey, listen, man, our case is weak. Maybe we should make a deal that says, hey, Karmelo, you might have to take a bid for manslaughter just so we could take first-degree murder off the table. And that might have had to be a plea deal, or they should have fought harder not to get that charge put in there at all, because that murder charge is based on just a few seconds of what they call premeditation. When he threatened that if you touch me, watch what happens. They based that whole murder charge on something that small, man. Anyway, man, you know what? Because I don't think you should be doing 35 years for, first degree murder. Man, shoot, man, guys get off for a whole lot less than that, right? So there you have it. So does he have grounds for appeal? I don't think he's going to get it. I think people think that he's going to get it, but I don't think so. And we have an attorney. I have a lawyer that's going to come on as a clip. Not going to come on, but I got a clip of a lawyer that could tell us exactly why and exactly how Karmelo might not have gotten more than 5 years if his parents would have acted right and got rid of that shyster that they gave the mic to. You know what I'm saying? Just a comedy of errors, comedies of failure on this young man, And the last one is him himself. His level of entitlement through his through his young years. The guy was a two-letterman, right? He was a two-letterman, right? He played football, which comes with a certain level of arrogance anyway. And he was a good track athlete. So he was a two-letterman. He was smart in school. And I can almost extrapolate that this guy was entitled at home. He had a whole bunch of soft parenting. And listen, I don't think gentle parenting is wrong completely. But sometimes, especially when you're talking about boys, every so often boys need to be braced. If I don't have any sons, so I can tell you right off the bat, full disclosure, I didn't hit my girls. right? I could tell you, first of all, they were well behaved. That's number one. And number two, I love my girls, right? I was not going to train them that the man who loves them is going to ever hit them. I wasn't going to be the guy to train them on that. So I had to be more cerebral with my daughters. And I did a decent job, of course, with my wife being, an integral part of all of that. You know what I'm saying? So my goals were simple for my girls. They were real simple. Learn how to read, learn how to write, learn how to converse with people. Don't be afraid of math. And if you can, excel in it. Respect me and your mom and everybody else. And don't let some prick put a baby in you before you're out of my house. You know what I'm saying? So my girls are grown women now. And they're hopefully they're still smart. But I got them to the age I wanted to get them to without the fuck shit that so many of you women allow your daughters to go through. You know what I'm saying? And not only because your daughters was off, because y'all were purveyors of this shit. Oh, it's okay. It's all right. You could have a boyfriend at 16 and we don't know where you at. No. So he was failed because Karmelo also failed himself. How could a guy with so much going for him give it away for so little? Not the murder itself, but so little. And here's the thing I'm going to discount. Here's the thing I would discount. The fact that he had a knife in Texas is not a thing. From everybody in Texas is armed. They walk around with guns. It's like a fucking Wild Wild West out there, right? So people have knives and all that kind of stuff. So it's always the intent of what you're going to do. Now, I understand. We're going to get back to it. But Karmelo, a lot of people don't know this, he was suspended earlier than this incident for threatening somebody with a knife. He was suspended from the football and track team for threatening another kid with a knife. You know what I'm saying? So he went in, with those kind of threats. Now, I don't know why people didn't make a bigger deal out of it. I checked it and double checked it, and maybe, it was a false information, but you guys could Google that shit yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Did I see the Real Precious here? Hey, hi, Real Precious. How you doing? So, listen, all I'm just trying to say, there's so many levels to this thing. And at every level, our man, Karmelo Anthony, was failed. And the last level was him himself. The guy with those things going for him, his future was bright. No matter where he came from, no matter how his parents is, no matter how fucked up the culture is in general, he could have been one of the guys to kind of eke through it till he got around a person who could have mentored him to be a good man, right? Sometimes even if it's by luck that you advance from one level to another, you get to college and you run into that professor or you run into that one person who said, man, sit your ass down and let me talk to you. Let me tell you how it really is. He didn't find that person in time. He didn't find that person in time. Some of us never do, and some of us do. Right? So let's take a look at the culture. Let's just take a look at the culture, starting with the fact that in our neighborhoods, we don't own shit. So without owning anything, without having a vested interest with your blood, sweat, and tears in your property, in your businesses, it creates something in you of non-ownership. Like, fuck it doesn't belong to me, so I don't have to protect it with my life. I don't have to protect it with my heart. I don't have to protect anything. I'll throw my trash out my window, my car window out this window, because the streets don't belong to me. You know what I'm saying? So here we go. I'm gonna share this with you. And I had it up, but That's all right. I'm gonna hit it right now. You know, and this is the first boo-boo. All this is supposed to be ready. My shit is all messed up. But some of these things, it takes time. There it is. That's not it. There it is.
This is a reflection. Like, comment, and subscribe for more.
In every black community, you have a Pakistani or Indian-owned convenience store attached to the gas station. You got an Arab-owned, you buy, we fry spot. You have a Vietnamese-owned nail tech spot. You have a Korean-owned beauty supply house. You have a Jewish or Caucasian-owned payday loan spot. Does any of them live where they get money? None of these foreign-owned entities support even the Pop Warner Football League or the basketball team or the Little League Baseball. You never even seen their names on the jerseys before. They do nothing for us. So we live in a colony right now, brother, and not a community. The people that own the property and the businesses don't live in the environment.
And extract everything out of it.
But a community is when the people that live in the environment own the property and the business and reinvest in that area because they are benefiting from it and they want to increase the value of it. We can't become a neighborhood again without keeping a dollar among ourselves.
Because if all...
Yeah, listen, okay, so just before we go on, does anybody disagree that because we don't have any ownership in our own areas, that it causes a mentality of, at best, detachment from what's actually going on, right? Because, listen, you don't worry, you're not taking the risk, nor are you getting the reward of having ownership and those kind of things. So you don't really fall in love with their neighborhood. Listen, one of the things I find with some people who actually want to elevate, when they move, they treat their stuff like gold, right? You don't want to move into an area where you buy a house and somebody next door to you is subletting all the apartments in their house. You don't want to live there. Or if they're bringing in Section 8 shit in your area. I heard Dave Chappelle threaten the whole town and got zoning changed because they wanted to put Section 8 in the areas where he bought all his property. So I don't know how true that was, but I believe him when he used that as a joke. But anyway, so here's some more about the cultural issues that we have. And this is just a snippet.
All you walk away with today is the lawyer lost the case. You missed the entire point. Black culture failed Karmelo Anthony, period. Long before that jury sat down, the culture had already handed down its verdict. Lock him up right now. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Nah, bruh. You're not gonna be at the elementary school influencing the children to be ghetto and ratchet and ignorant like you.
All right. So, okay. How is this different? These are like elementary schoolers, right? They know every single word to this song. However ratchet it is, I don't know all of that. I didn't even go ahead and research it, so I get it. But it's bad enough when our average reading scores are subpar. Our math scores are subpar. All of these things are subpar, but these kids know every single word. I was going to put a short video here of when Meg Thee Stallion and the Latina chick, man, the one with all the babies and all that stupid shit that she does, did WAP. Okay, I don't even remember goddamn Cardi B. It did WAP. And there was just a sea of young girls out there singing WAP to the top of their lungs with, cigarette lighters up there and flashlights on. And they're singing all the words to this ratchet song. All the words. You can't tell me that doesn't leave residue. I don't see any different from this guy going to elementary schools and Sexy Red and all this than a drag queen in their ratchet uniforms in front of third graders and fourth graders doing their shit. We're so self-destructive, and we just gloss over all of this shit. It's at some point, right? At some point, there's got to be a Uno reverse card on the shit that we accept.
You have Black personalities online claiming that Black parents need to have conversations with their Black kids because of this guilty verdict, in the sense that they don't have a right to stand up for themselves. Yeah, it's that terrible. Let's start here.
Let this be a lesson to us, especially to teach our young Black boys, because we have definitely seen this in our community where the slightest of things has touched off something that can't be.
Are you guys, is anybody else out there who remembers Jemele Hill when she was likable and she had black hair and it was in a Black woman's hairstyle? Do anybody remember that? What she did on ESPN was I would give her credit. It's kind of legendary. And then she's digressed into this. Listen, we've had 60 years of people trying to raise women, trying to raise boys. This shit doesn't work. This conversation that you say we should have, I think fathers would have had these conversations with their sons if they had more access to them. And this is not really cutting edge stuff that she's saying, because of course, whether it's Karmelo stabbed and killed somebody, this is just basic shit you should be talking about to your kids on how to be good fucking adults.
Reversed.
And by the way, I don't think she has any children. And so she's lecturing people who do.
We need to be having conversation with our young Black boys about emotional regulation and decision-making and discernment and wisdom. And those are not easy conversations to have in a world.
They're very easy conversations to have. Maybe they're not good conversations, the easy ones for women to have. Right? Because you guys have had the cradle for a lot of years. So if you're not talking about this or handing these fucking kids over to their fathers, take some accountability for this shit. All the men you fucking guys hate right now are the ones you raised. All of them. Not all of them, but enough to make a difference.
World that sees them the way that they do, but we have to have them to save them, to preserve them. We have to have them.
You know what? She's right. We do need to have a conversation. But I want to have a conversation about what we're seeing on social media from BLM activists. Just look at your screen. There's a new disturbing social media trend of BLM activists posting edited images of themselves urinating on Austin Metcalf's grave, as you guys can see. Let's have this conversation, Jemele Hill. Let's do it. Let's talk about this. Will you call this behavior out exactly? What about this behavior? Will you call that out too? Probably not, right? Because again, Black people can do no wrong. And so who cares about accountability on our side of things? We only have to hold white people accountable, right? I'm sure that's our mindset. And it's just unfortunate that they're planting negative ideas in the minds of young Black men that they need to live their lives in fear. That is terrible.
What do you want us to do? What do you want us to do at this point? What? I'm lost for where I don't know what to do. I got 5 boys.
So this lady, I saw her live talking about she had 5 boys. And let me tell you, I don't know her personal life. And all I could think of when she said, I have 5 boys, is I could say, those poor dumb bastards, because I don't know if chances are they ain't by the same guy and she don't have no man in the house. And it's no way that it's hard enough to be a man raising 5 sons. but it's an impossibility for the average woman to be able to raise 5 boys, especially if they're out in the street yelling at a camera.
I don't know what. I ain't got nothing to tell them no more. You can't walk away no more. What do you want us to do?
I also had 5 boys. She doesn't know what to do after the Karmelo incident. What to tell her sons, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and try something. Today, boys, when you go out into school, don't stab any other kids. You think you guys can do that? You feel good about that, Lee? You feel good about that, Ace?
Yeah.
Oh, you're Aunt Cheryl. This is Ace. So, is that a good commitment from everybody? We're not going to stab any kids today?
Hey, just
What's going on, Trey? What's going on?
What's good with you, okay?
All right. I'm gonna stop it for a second. What you got to say, man, so far before I finish that one?
You know, the conversation for this entire situation, I asked one question. If your son was a bully, does he deserve to die? It's the only question I ask.
No, back in the day,
I'm not arguing that Austin wasn't a bully. I'm not even arguing that he was. I'm asking, does he deserve to die? And if your answer to that question is yes, well, then I know some people in our very neighborhoods that deserve the same treatment. So it has to make sense on both ends. But I get it. And to me, I think it shows the diabolical and despicable nature of some of the people within the Black community. Like, they don't care that the preservation of life is not really that important to them. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. But that's the question I always ask. You find out that your son is a bully, and then you find out that someone killed him for being a bully. How does that sit with you?
Yeah. Listen, I tell you, and you're right, though. He didn't deserve to die. And gosh, it's this thing has so many theories at so many different levels. Hey, Precious, what's happening? If you saw the link, if you wanted to pop up, you can as well. Or anybody else, just got to be on camera. Anyhow, so the next guy I'm going to show on that same clip at the cultural level is the last one. And I know everybody has issues with my man, Jason Whitlock. I mean, because let's face it, he could be a prick at times. But every so often, he says a couple of things that, regardless of whether you like him or not, it's on point. And if you disagree, we could always discuss it. Not you, but in general. If people disagree, we always discuss it. Let me just go ahead and finish this off so I can finish the cultural level.
Predict or see coming, and it doesn't undermine what I said earlier, like, hey, there's not going to be looting and rioting, blah, 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 but there has been something almost nearly as bad. People are rioting and looting their brains online. People are saying crazy things in defense of Karmelo Anthony. And I think it points to a delusion that is popular among women, and particularly Black women, a rejection of the consequence of a matriarchal culture. And so they can't acknowledge that they've created a matriarchal culture that's toxic and dangerous and lethal and damaging. They can't acknowledge that. And so they're saying really ridiculous things defending Karmelo Anthony because they're defending this demonic culture that Black people have adopted, Black people have been baited into, and now in order to defend our racial idolatry, we have to defend some of the dumbest, most repulsive behavior on the planet. A kid, Karmelo Anthony, murdered another kid, stabbed him with a knife because, I don't know, he was pushed or they told him to leave a tent. And so now people are defending this. One of the craziest things I saw was from a Howard professor. I think this was a tweet. I thought I saw it, read the tweet, but I thought actually there was video, but I think we have the tweet where the person is arguing that that the guy's son, Dr. Stacy Patton, that Jeff Metcalf's son is dead because you failed to teach him that Black boys have boundaries. So I read this, and I'm going to read you an excerpt. You failed to teach your boy that Black children have boundaries. You failed to teach humility, restraint, or the sacred fact that another person's body is not your jurisdiction. You failed to teach him that another child's space is not a challenge to be conquered. You failed to teach him that community does not mean white boys get to decide who belongs and who does not. You obviously failed to teach your son that touching, confronting, crowding, testing, or policing another person can have consequences. And you failed to teach him that the same world that cheers white boys for being bold and aggressive will not always be there to save them when they mistake somebody else's restraint for permission. This is insanity. She's come up with some crazy justification. And this is a doctor. And a lot of these things that we're seeing are Black women making the most ridiculous arguments in the history of the planet, justifying the murder of Karmelo Anthony.
Well, Jasmine Crockett is at it again. You may have seen initial comments she made about the verdict.
Okay, so before we go into this, and the reason why I put this one at the end is because I want to give them an example of a woman who's unhinged, and based on what she says. But you got anything to say on what my man Jason? I don't know if you ever watched Jason Whitlock at all. You could only take it sparingly.
I watch a little bit of Jason Whitlock, but I agree with him that the Black community has a matriarchal issue, and because of that, why are we so surprised? Right? I mean, we're talking about a group of people, talking about Black women that have had almost 25 million abortions. So why are we shocked that they are not batting an eye over murder? Like this is what they do. Taking human life is nothing new. It's not something that is surprising. Just for the record, there are about, give or take a few numbers, about 25 million Black women. So you can make the argument that at least everybody, I'm not saying everyone, but I'm got to make the argument from a statistical standpoint that every Black woman has had at least one termination. And so why are we so shocked by this? That they are okay. You push my son gets to kill your son. They're perfectly okay with it. And in their logical brain, that makes sense. It computes. 2 + 2 actually equals 4 there. That's ridiculous.
I hear you. So let's go ahead and see what the
murder in the Karmelo Anthony case. But yesterday, she outdid herself, telling TMZ she thought the outcome was unjust and mitigating the responsibility of Karmelo Anthony, who stabbed Austin Metcalf to death. These comments are truly outrageous. Listen to this.
Okay. And what we saw with that verdict is the evidence of a broken system. Now listen, from everything that I understand, which I wasn't at the trial because obviously I got a day job, but it's my understanding that Karmelo ended up stabbing puncturing. I don't know what this tool was that they talk about, knife, or some refer to it as a tool.
It was a knife. Let's just pause there. The tool in question was, in fact, a knife. It was a knife that Karmelo Anthony, a black teenager, used to stab Austin Metcalf, a white teenager, at a track meet in Frisco, Texas. The races of the murderer and the victim are not at all relevant, and I would not bring them up even, except that it's relevant to what Crockett is claiming here. She continued.
He ended up hitting Austin one time, and it was about where he hit him. One time, 2 inches. This wasn't someone who said, hey, let me stab you 5, 6, 7 times. And so when you're looking at the punishment range, there's a reason in Texas that it goes from 5 to 99 or life, because you are looking at how intentional, like how bad was this? 35 years?
The question of how bad was this is answered not by counting.
You know what? I want to just stop there for a second, Trey. What about the verdict? First of all, I think I think manslaughter would have been a more appropriate charge. But what do you think? Because they used just a small window to say it was premeditated enough for them to get the bigger charge. And obviously the jury agreed. So, but is that his lawyer who should at least say, hey, listen, we're going to lose this case based on what I know about you and where you were, that maybe we could plea out and just get manslaughter and take that whole murder charge off the table?
I mean, can I tell you what I would have done if I was this boy's father?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
This is what I would have done. And I would have pissed Austin Metcalf's family off until, I don't know, they would have been mad for a very long time. If I would have found out that my son had stabbed his bully to death, I would have had a conversation with him and I would have told him, son, you're going to prison. I don't know for how long, but you're going to prison. What I want you to do is I want you to plead this out and get the least amount of time you possibly can, because if you take it to trial, they're going to throw the book at you. It's exactly what happened. What I would have then done is the money that they raised, I would have invested that money. And had he done 10 years,
right,
12 years, by the time he would have got out of prison, my son would have been a millionaire. Now, what would have pissed him off more? Him doing 35 years or my son doing 10 years and coming out of jail and being a multimillionaire and having a life while your son, and I'm not urging this, but while your son is still deceased, my son is alive and is a millionaire. That's how I would have done it. At some point in time, we have to look at this and say, he was never going to win this. Where there was no evidence that ever showed he was going to win this case. And so I think his lawyer, either his lawyer didn't try hard enough, or he ignored his lawyer and told his lawyer, this is what we're going to do. But I think his lawyer at some point in time had to tell him, Art-Payne.
I agree. But I wonder how much the race beta that they had, following, trying to, insert himself into this guy who was a baby shaker. And I got more on that when we get to the parents.
But it's Texas, though. That's not going to work in Texas.
I know. I hear you. It's just bad. Let me see all right, let's finish this off.
The quantity or duration of the stabbing, or even the intent, but the effect of the stabbing. And the effect was that Anthony killed Metcalf. It was murder. That's why a jury has sentenced him to 35 years in prison.
A lot of people don't know what it is to live as a Black person in this country, but just like you can give the benefit of the doubt to so many police officers when they go out and they shoot some Black unarmed person, even though they are trained, the fact that there was little to no mercy seen or humanity seen when this Black boy said that I was scared, or the fact that honestly anybody else who did something with such a small object, all I know is that it wasn't considered unlawful carrying of a weapon because the blade was not long enough.
Jasmine, it is not about his state of mind or the length of the blade or anything like that. It's about the outcome. He killed an unarmed teenager for no reason. And Crockett has the audacity to say that the killer is not being shown any humanity? I mean, what about showing humanity for the victim? Why doesn't she manifest any concern for his life? She says she's heartbroken that Karmelo Anthony is going to prison for 35 years. Well, is she heartbroken that the Metcalf family will never see their son again? The reason for that is the decision that Karmelo Anthony made to withdraw a knife from his backpack and then stab another human being, Austin Metcalf. To be clear, no one made him do this. His life was not threatened. He had no reasonable expectation he was in danger. He had every option to exit the situation he was in. Instead, he chose to attack and kill the teenager who had asked him to leave the tent.
There you go.
Yeah, but I don't, one thing I don't like this idea that Austin wasn't like he was like softly, like, would you guys please?
Oh,
Would
yeah.
you mind? Like, I don't like that. Like, we know that's not how it went down. Like, we know that's not how it went down. Like,
Yeah,
it was,
I agree.
It was disrespectful. Like, I hate that part of it. They keep trying to make it seem like it was some simple little, would you mind just kind of like not leaving, not being here? Like, no, like, that's not how it went down.
No. I mean, but one of the things is that in my day, your day, teenagers understand when they're in somebody else's boundary. It's not like we don't, right? I mean, we understand. I mean, I don't know what kid who's lived any kind of life from whatever neighborhood, you understand when whether it's legal trespassing or just trespassing, in somebody's area, and to expect them to soft shoot to you and say, get out. They're not going to say, can you please get out? They say, get the F out of here, But still, it doesn't have to end up is stabbing. But here's my thing. Here's one of the problems, and I know this wasn't true. If he was being jumped, how the hell did he reach into his bag, open the blade, and on his first blow was able to penetrate and stab somebody? I mean, he had to do it wasn't like a switchblade, so he had to have it open, and it had to be ready. I would imagine that was part of this thing. How did he get it open with all these people on him without using 2 hands? Right, open it and put it in a lock position.
And not to mention that they are much bigger than him. That's also the argument they made. That the guys, the Metcalfs and the crew, are much bigger than him. And Carmelo's only 5'9". So they jumped him. They dominate him in size, and yet he still managed somehow get a knife out and to get a heart shot in, not just anywhere.
Yeah,
to get a heart shot in.
And let me tell you, even if it wasn't a knife, he had to, if it was just a punch, that would have been a great chest blow, because it had to be a good punch to get past the bone into all of that stuff with what they call a pocket knife, unless it missed, do a rib or something. Anyway, let me go ahead and continue this thing, because I want to go ahead. So now we're at the parents, okay? So I believe we're at the parents, right? We went through it. No, we're at the lawyer, I believe. No, the parents. We're at the parents. Okay. Let me go ahead and get this started.
All right, Payne, while you doing that, can I say something real quick?
Sure.
And what's up, Trey? My brother Trey, what's going on, boy?
What's going on?
So I want to say this, man. I have 3 sons, and I've just been thinking about this since we had the other big show the other night talking about this. Man, listen, I'm here in Texas, and I'm telling you, this is a gun-toting, knife-carrying, everyday teenage boys, got their knives on their hips, they mossy oak on, they walk around here like they're deer hunting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This is what it looks like every day, right? So that's one point. The second point is, I'll go to these gun shows, I'm buying bullets, I'm going to buy guns, and man, I'm seeing grown-ass men in line with their 12-year-olds, buying them assault rifles, buying them 9mm, buying them 38s and 380s. And like, these boys are ready for war at 13. They ready to kill up some shit, right? My thing is this: why are they teaching their boys that, and we're teaching our boys to? I was watching a video. I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna see if I can send it to you before the show over. But I'm in the thing mall with my daughter right now. But it's a boy walking down the sidewalk. The white boy says something to him. The black boy turns around and walks away from the white boy. The white boy runs up behind the black boy, punches him in the face from behind. The black boy turns around, beats the living shit out of him, stomps him out, bust all his teeth, break his jaw. Now they're trying to charge him with attempted murder.
Yeah, you know what? Listen, man, you know what? You're gonna drive yourself crazy trying to find all these things, man. You know, I'm telling you, it's unfortunate. Hopefully, the guy gets a good lawyer to help him out. But you know, I mean, these are the kind of things. But one of the things, I don't know if you missed this, BMU. I said in Texas, and I'm not even there. I said, you know, this whole notion that he had a knife. I think his lawyers should have been able to get that shit down. Everybody has a fucking knife. Everybody's goddamn armed and all that. We can't say that he was premeditatedly one. Everybody has a knife. I bet you if I pool everybody in the jury room, I mean, in the courtroom, the only reason why they don't have a weapon is that it's in the bin outside.
And let me tell you something, RP. Let me tell you this. I'm gonna let y'all cook. And if I get home and you still on, I'll hop on with you.
Right. All right.
But my sons, my three boys. My youngest boy is 14. All right.
Okay.
His brother got into an argument at the school. And my son was in middle school. The high school is right next door. My son, my 15-year-old, got jumped by a few boys out over a basketball game. My 14-year-old, my daughter texted my 14-year-old and said, my 14-year-old left the middle school. It was a white boy. It was some white boys. Left the middle school, walked over to the high school, walked up the staircase in the classroom, and proceeded to whoop this 16-year-old's ass. My boy's not playing. My boy's not bullshit. My boy's ready to battle. And my boys ain't walking away. I'm not teaching my son how to be no bitches. If it's a situation where you can move out the way, move out the way. But other than that, if my son, I told him, don't ever turn your back on the enemy. Don't ever bitch out. If they hit you, put your hands on you, do your best to fuck them up.
Well, let me put it to you before you go. If you were in it, hopefully, God, you won't be in this situation. But how much talking would your wife do if you had cameras and all that shit, and you're there?
She ain't gonna do no talking when what you mean?
I mean, if you had to defend your a situation, had to talk to the media, you had to do anything. If something arises, you're not going to defer to your wife to answer these questions.
Absolutely not.
Right, and so that's what I'm saying. The doofus was there. He's deferring. He's doing all this kind of shit, man. He was, first of all, so many different men. All they couldn't get past how much of a loser the father seemed like. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's been too long. It's just time for men to stand up and start saying, listen, you know what, sit your ass down, honey. I got this. You know? Anyway, so let's go, Trey. Let's see. Here's the parents. Why is it? There it is.
It's in our children. It's not working. What we thought was right, Black America, has
who's we, white man?
Not work. It ain't gonna work, and it is not going to work because it ain't supposed to work. I do not believe in just beating on your child. That is not what I'm saying. But what happened, Black America, is when we took discipline away from our children and decided to be their friends, it literally...
Hey, Trey, who is she talking for? Who is she talking? You know what I'm saying? When she said we, who the hell is she talking for? You know
I don't know. We got discipline in my house. And you can catch these hands. I had a conversation with my daughter the other day. She's 7 years old, and I said, "Don't think because you're a girl and you're 7, you can't get spanked too. You can get this work just like your brother can."
You know, I mean, this is also. I mean, when I heard her say that shit, here's the thing that's so disingenuous about women. She's thinking about women. Because I don't know how many. Unfortunately, there's too many men who signed up for this gentle parenting thing. Like this, what's his name, Torre or whatever. I thought he was gay. I didn't even know he was married with kids. But you know, he's a gentle parent kind of thing. And the culture who went into our kids all fucked up because none of them understand discipline. I don't have any sons.
But you know what the thing is? The thing is, our pain. Every parent thinks that gentle parenting is going to work until their kid is born. like I thought, oh, I'm not going to have to be like how my parents were to me until I met my son. I'm not going to have to be that. Well, I was prepared for my daughter because I had my son. Once you realize This shit don't work. This gentle parenting stuff does not work.
Yeah, unless your kids are just have a disposition where you can't raise to the level where they need like spanking. But with a boys in particular, right? There's an age for every son, I believe, that he'll get to the point where he's gonna buck up against his father. And that's when he needs to be braced. You can't talk that shit down. Like BMU said, he told his son, listen, man, get those gloves and let's go into the ring. And I'm gonna beat you. You know what he said? He said, you know what I'm saying?
Let me address this clown in a chat real quick.
Yeah,
You
damn
right. You damn right. I'll spank my 7-year-old. What I do in my house is what I do in my house. If you don't want to spank your 7-year-old, then you don't do it. And we'll see how they end up in the end. Because you white boys and the way y'all discipline y'all kids, I see y'all kids every day where I live at. And the white kids be out here acting crazy, doing whatever they want. Shut up, mom. You're stupid, mom. Yeah. They be out here acting crazy. You wanna know why? Because you're scared of your kids.
Yeah.
So if you put your hands on your 7-year-old, then you don't do that. But my kids don't talk to me like that. And I've watched these kids. I watched the kid the other day. I was in a restaurant, Arcade. Yeah. He like the mac and cheese or whatever. He takes the bowl and flips the bowl off the table. My kids was looking at me and I was like, I wish y'all.
Wish you would. Don't even get no idea. You know, that is a fundamental difference. Even with the bad parenting on the black side, there is no level of disrespect that is equivalent on the black side that those kids have for their white parents. It's absolutely absurd. They'll say anything, they'll do anything, they'll drop F-bombs on them, and the parents look like they're helpless to do anything. And that shit hasn't helped society at all.
Because they're scared of their kids. They're terrified of them.
So
these clowns in the chat, by the way, I need to remind you, more white people in prison than black people. Just want to remind you of that. Because you guys love to play that, well, you'll catch a charge before you're 18. More white people in prison than black people. And you guys murder each other at a higher rate than we do too. If we want to talk about statistics.
Yeah. I think they don't look at their own statistics enough.
It put us in the conundrum that we are in today. And until Black America start to really think about it, when I say discipline, it don't have to necessarily mean popping a kid. I mean discipline as a whole. We don't discipline our children at the ages of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So then when they hit puberty, at 14, 15, 16, 17, then when you want to try to implement the discipline, this is when the children give you all hell. And what I'm telling y'all is all this gentle parenting, all of this trying to do like them clears do with their kids, it has not worked.
You know what the funny thing is, Trey? Is that what she said? That, when the kids are teenagers and shit, you want to turn them over. That's what women do. After they fucked up their son's life, they want the father to come in when the kid's already a teenager.
No, they don't. Because I was in law enforcement and I did this job for 14 years. You know what they do? They call the police. That's what they do. They call the police. I know, because I went into these houses every night. They call the police. There is no dad to turn them over to.
No, I'm talking about in the ones that do have fathers in the thing. I understand it's a great number that there's.
They still call the police before they call the dad. You know how many times I got there before the dad got there?
Unbelievable.
And I can actually look at them and say, and I remember I've asked many moms, why did you call us and you called the dad at the same time? Why didn't you just let the dad have the list? Because I thought I should call you. Because that's what they've been trained. They've been trained to program that when they need help, even with their own children, call the police.
Let me ask you a question on a little tangential note. Listen, one of the laws that has to change, or something that has to change for fathers that's in the mix, there's got to be some way where it's mandatory that if a woman has early charge of the kid, once he's weaned or once they're in regular preschool or kindergarten, that some way the father should become primary caregiver. Because we have enough receipts that know that fucking most women are doing a horrible job raising their children. They don't think they are, but society is telling us that, especially in the Black community, that they do it, because we know 75% of of kids in single parent household, what's it, 50-60% of them is probably with just a woman run, and the receipts are there. I mean, we don't even need to do some kind of extensive study. They're doing a horrible fucking job, and don't give me the one football player that becomes a millionaire, right? That's one in the blue moon. I don't know. How do we make some? I don't think we could make that happen. Do you see anything like that ever happening? Because there's a level of control that they would have to give up, a level of money, a level of this, and that shit ain't going to happen. So I don't know how we turn this around.
What state was that? Was it Tennessee or Kentucky that it automatically just went to 50-50 custody? I think that should be that should be the automatic. That should be the automatic answer. If a father can't be in his child's life, he needs to go to the court and say, "Hey, I can't do this." But outside of that, he needs to have 50%. And there's some reason why he can't. Maybe he worked, a lot, 12 hours, whatever the case may be. You can figure it out once you get in the courtroom. I wouldn't want these guys to go in the courtroom. I've been in the courtroom. It's not a fun time, but I would say it should be automatically 50-50 off. Listen, and here's the thing. Here's what you're talking about, R-Pain. Well, back in the day, that's actually how it was. If the woman didn't want to be in the marriage anymore, in the relationship anymore, she's the one that left. He was the one that was typically left with the kids. Go watch. I was watching I think it was James Brown. It was one of the James Brown movies, and that was sort of, or maybe it was Ray, but it was either one of those. It was one of the school movies, or anyway. And that's how it happened. She got mad and she left him with the dad. It's typically that's how it used.
That's right.
Because back then it wasn't financially beneficial to stay and keep the kid. Now they think this, which I find is always interesting. I find it to be hilarious because the average child support payment is nothing but $400 anyway. So you're really just doing yourself a disservice. You know what I mean?
Okay, so we got a single mom. Listen, the exception is not the rule. If single moms in general were raising college kids, I could dig it. But, unfortunately, they're always a one-off and outlier. So congratulations on getting your kids to where you think you got them.
But do you notice something, though?
Go ahead.
You never ask the kids, what do they want? See, this is my problem with these single moms. This is her pat on the back moment. Well, I did it, and my kids graduated college. What do they feel about their dads?
Right.
I guarantee you they wanted their dads in the house. You don't care. You want to know why you don't care about that? Because you're selfish. You don't care. You just want to pat your back. I raised them on my own. But I guarantee your kids, if you would have asked them, well, what would they have preferred? Would they have preferred just to be in the house with you, or would they have preferred to have mom and dad?
Yeah, listen, again, you're right. And like I said, these are, these one-offs don't make it, these are the exceptions and not the rules. And the rule is already all around us. So yeah, kudos for you getting through one way or the other, but let's not act like that's some normal shit.
And did you pay for all 3 college graduates? Are they debt free? Or did you just send them to college and tell them to tack on a bunch of college debt that's going to follow them around for the next 20 years?
Hey, well,
we patting ourselves on the back, though.
Yeah, she's patting that. Don't break your elbows on the way to pat yourself on the back. You know what I'm saying? That's so funny. But anyway, listen, I'm not going to come down on. Hey, listen, God bless you. If your kids are productive citizens, that's better than not being a productive citizen. But one of the things that they got heavy debt, they can't dream. You got $200,000 worth of debt as a college graduate. You can't dream. All you can think about is that debt. Anyway, so let me go ahead and finish this and get back on this, because there's some more on this that I want to play.
But not one time have these people ever expressed remorse. Their needle has been stuck on race and grievance, and this is not fair. And what? What you say?
And victimhood.
And victimhood.
Yeah. As we see here.
Listen, I just seen somebody say these are low IQ people. Look at the expressions on their face. She said it, not me, and I am I've been wanting to say that. I've been like, this little thick tongue. I've been wanting to say it, but
I just want to go ahead and this. Everybody's in the chat. One of the things that I put together, this is another level of where I think the parents failed my man Karmelo. And there's a couple of other things here. And at the end of this particular one, the lead attorney brings it all home. You know what I'm saying? And it makes it unequivocal that it's unequivocally bad for the parents at what they did and the decisions they make might have cost Karmelo Anthony 20 to 25 years.
But y'all know me. Because y'all know I'll say it. I don't even care. I don't know these people. But they do look low IQ. You're low IQ if you retain a defense team and then you still have Dominique Alexander as your advocate. You just retarded. You're retarded to me. He's been harming their credibility from the beginning, and they won't cut him loose.
From day one. Well, and think about this, April, and the audience, look at this. I mean, y'all couldn't get Ben Crump. Ben Crump didn't even want to touch this one.
Listen, you know it's bad when Ben is
Pause it right there. Raw pain.
Go ahead.
What did I say on Friday? When we were talking about this on Friday, what did I say?
I don't know.
The fact that Ben Crump didn't want no parts of this,
right,
tells you a lot.
I know. No Al Sharpton, no bobblehead, none of that, man.
No ACLU, no NAACP, no none of that.
No BLM.
Tells you a lot. They knew it. They looked at the facts of the case. They was like, this boy not gonna win this. They knew it.
Yeah. You on your own. You people are on your own. You know what I'm saying? So
let me tell you how I know this. When I was on the police department, when I was on the police department, do you know how you knew you was guilty? When the union wasn't going to back you.
Oh,
if the union wasn't going to back you, whatever's finna happen to you is going to happen to you because they don't have your back. Right. That's how you always knew. That was always a good barometer of if you had a chance to fight whatever was going on. If the union was like, nah, we got your back. We got your back. We're gonna take it. We got some resources for this. We're gonna handle it. We're gonna take care of this. Don't worry about it. All right, you're probably gonna be pretty good. That's how I looked at this entire thing. I looked at it like if these guys don't start coming out the Black Lives Matter and they don't start coming out of the woodworks for this, and that's exactly what happened. None of them came out. I wonder why.
Yeah, do you remember the Amadou Diallo case in New York? You might not, when the cop stuck the broomstick up the brother's ass.
Yes.
And man, the blue wall of shield was shattered, man. Those guys were on their own, man. There's no doubt about it. They had nowhere to go but to prison for that. You know, and that was at a time when cops weren't getting weren't found guilty on anything. You know, so that was a watershed thing in New York.
I can't fix this. I mean, where is Al Sharpton? He ain't come out there talking about they knee being on Karmelo Matt. I mean, you got the race baiters of race baiters said, nah, we ain't getting involved. You got to take the JV team, and you get Alexander with the JV bootleg now actually.
Oh,
your sentence, how did he put up such an awful defense? I'm talking about Karmelo Anthony. It's because his parents were awful. And his parents, not very bright. I'm just keeping it 100% real. Not very bright. And so not very bright parents working with a defense attorney and working with a small child that's getting, or small child, but a young person that's getting bad advice from his parents. The other thing that has never added up to me, and particularly after hearing the father talk, he's allegedly some kind of car salesman. And if the way he's articulated himself in these interviews is how this man normally talks, I'm like, are we sure he's a car salesman? And if he is a car salesman, like, what kind of cars is he selling that's justifying him living out in Frisco, Texas? And I'm about to go where no man has gone before. But the mentality of the father and the mother of them pretending like, will someone put their hands on my child and therefore my child has the right to stab them? That's a mentality. That's a street, ghetto, prison culture, drug dealing mindset.
What do you think about that?
It's definitely a mindset of the Black community. I don't know if it's particularly just strictly to, street. I think it's probably more to impoverished neighborhoods. I think if you go to any impoverished neighborhood, that's going to be the mentality, because everything's like a fight uphill. You know what I mean? Like everything's a fight. You know, you got to battle for everything. And so there's this idea like, if you touch me, I'm going to hurt you. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. But I don't think it has to do with. I don't agree with him on that. I think that I don't agree.
What you're saying is more broad than what he said. I mean, it's that because that environment that you just is broader than, because everybody in the hood, they might not be, criminals or anything, but
and everybody in the hood, our pain ain't tough.
Well, there's no doubt about that. A lot of people live in fear and they just want to get home every night.
And so I've heard the story that the father is a car salesman. Car salesmen usually have to be pretty clever, pretty persuasive. They're not dumb idiots. I know who is. I know who, like rappers, people that buy into prison culture, people that buy into drug dealing culture, people that buy into ghetto culture. Those aren't very bright people. And those are people that believe like, oh, you put your hands on me, I get to kill you. I get to overreact in a violent, dangerous way to putting your hands on me. Only idiots would believe that. And you have to exist in an idiot culture. And so when I start thinking, what were they doing living in Frisco, Texas? A car salesman who's this stupid? Just doesn't add up to me. And it just makes me wonder, what all were they off into that would justify the mentality of like, don't you put your hands on me? I've been disrespected. You put your hands on me. You asked me to step away from a place where I don't really belong, but you're of no authority and I have to be rebellious against authority.
Shout out to lead attorney, the big homie.
Hey, listen, this one here, man, is, I don't know if you saw this clip, the lead attorney brings this shit home on what he says from his analysis could have happened. And they had an opportunity to actually endear themselves enough to the victim's father that would have made a difference. But, the lead attorney explains shit pretty well, man. This is a couple of minutes here. That's like 8 minutes long. We'll stop and start.
Let's go.
Many of you were surprised at a point that I made.
Oh, by the way, this was a full year.
Can you put it on? Can you speed it up?
Yeah, I'll try to do that. This was a full year before the actual thing. So let me see if I can speed this up. Where is it at? I should be able to speed it up. Playback. No, I don't see the speed.
Playback speed. It should be right there. It said playback speed.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
And then 1.9. 1.5,
1.2, 1.5.
1.25 should be good.
Okay. Let's hear what it sounds like.
In my last video on how Karmelo Anthony's family has actually costed Karmelo extra years in prison. So many extra years. You wanted me to expound on that further because you had not heard anyone make that point. Well, that's why I'm here. I'm giving you the perspective, not of a YouTuber reacting to news, but of an attorney who's practiced for more than 20 years. This is behind the scenes info. So let's get to it. Now, let me explain on how Karmelo's mother basically sentenced her own son, Karmelo, to an extra 10 to 30 more years in prison, and what she can do about it now to try to fix it.
So this was literally before the trial ever got started. This is last year this time. So just think about what has happened as he's telling this. Now that we're looking back at this, the rearview mirror, hindsight is 2020. Just think about what he said, and you're like, a lot of this is very uncanny. And could the Anthony family have done some of those things to kind of apply what we saw in scripture in this situation?
I think we could have. Explained in my last video that Karmelo's mother apparently hired a family spokesperson, one Dominique Alexander. This Dominique calls himself a minister of justice, whatever that is. Dominique is.
Well, you know, so he made it a point to say it was the wife who hired this guy, not the husband.
That's telling.
Yeah, exactly.
That's telling, Arpain. I'm tracking with you. I'm with you on that. It's a matriarchy-led household.
Yes.
And it's obvious.
It's obvious.
His girlfriend. Then he got a new girlfriend. And when that girlfriend left out of the apartment, the good minister grabbed that woman's 2-year-old baby and shook him until that baby got brain damage. The good minister pled guilty in that case to felony charges and was in prison. Now, this is the man that Karmelo's mom chose to speak on Karmelo.
Can you imagine? I can't imagine. There's no way in hell that this guy would have been anywhere near to my case. It's unbelievable, you know. So there's craziness.
And the family's behalf, the good baby shaking minister. The minister did exactly what you would expect a convicted felon to do when handling Karmelo's case. He absolutely destroyed it. How? He ostracized the most important person in Karmelo's case. Now, who is that? Is that the judge? No. Is that the prosecutor? No. The most important person alive in Karmelo's case is actually Jeff Metcalf, the father of the young man that Karmelo Anthony killed, Austin Metcalf. The father, Jeff Metcalf, is the linchpin to Karmelo's entire future. Let me tell you that in a murder case where the victim is gone, the case lives on through the victim's next of kin. When a parent has to bury his child, everyone looks to that parent to gauge how to react. Judges consciously and subconsciously look at the parent's facial expression when they're testifying on the witness stand. Prosecutors run all their plea offers through the parents. Reporters knock on the parents' doors for statements, and they aim their cameras at the parents when the verdicts drop. And the jurors, oh my goodness, the jurors hang on every word of the parents. Notice every little movement, every gesture. In this case, Jeff Metcalf, the father, is not just a spectator in the case. He's the conscience of the entire community. If you win Jeff, you win all the sympathy. But if you alienate him, you can go to prison for life. Months ago, Jeff Metcalf, the father, he did something unthinkable. Reporters, as they always do, shoved a microphone in this grieving father's face and asked him, how do you feel about this Karmelo Anthony? You know what he said? Jeff Metcalf said, and I quote, you know what? I've already forgiven this person. Already. Wow. Now, that is amazing. It's amazing that Jeff would have the strength to do that because I would be incapable of that. The maturity, the wisdom, the strength, I just would not have. Now, that baby shaking.
So think about it. Jeff Metcalf has already extended the olive branch. I forgive you. I've forgiven him. That's pretty powerful. Now look what happened.
So here's this point of him saying that he forgives him before the press conference gives me a little bit more credibility that when he showed up to the press conference that he didn't have nefarious intent. That's how I feel about it because he said something like he forgave. So I'm going to give him some credibility because he could have came to the press conference to act up, but he didn't. I don't think he did. So I believe that what he told the reporters is what he believed. So let's continue.
Minister is not going to know this, but when a father makes a statement like that, a statement of forgiveness, the entire Karmelo team has to drop everything. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Your entire legal strategy has to change. I can tell you as an attorney that you call an emergency meeting with all the lawyers, all the family, maybe PR consultants if the family has means for that. You bring everyone together to get them on the same page and let them know that this case will revolve around one person, Jeff Metcalf, the father. So when Karmelo's mother heard what Jeff said about her son, what do you think that this lady did? She handed the microphone at a press conference to the baby shaking minister of justice. And at that press conference where Jeff Metcalf showed up to pray with the family, the baby shaking minister called the police and had Jeff kicked out. Like,
you know what he's making, you know, the lead is so good, man. He doesn't waste time. He's the baby shaking minister. That's the guy's name. Ain't that something? A convicted felon. He's there. He's at fault, man. Who knows how the outcome would have came? But my man would not have gotten 35 years if this guy had a conversation with a working father in a Anthony household.
Can you believe
if they would have just asked the father to talk to the judge or even speak, he probably wouldn't have got 35 years.
No,
because he would have said he would have said, "I've forgiven him. You know, it happened. I'm hurt. I lost my son." But he probably would have made it much better for Karmelo. But instead, I'm telling you, they went scorched earth and it didn't work. Like they went scorched earth and it just didn't work.
With a B team, though, they went scorched earth with a B team. You know what I'm saying? It's incredible. So the league was on point here for thinking about this way ahead.
Jeff Metcalf, who came there to pray, they kicked him out of the press conference. The entire spectacle went viral within an hour. Do you know what else? Karmelo Anthony's prison sentence was prolonged by 10 to 25 years within that same hour. Now, why do I say that? What did the family show Jeff in that instance? Jeff, the father. They showed Jeff that there was no remorse. They showed Jeff that there would be no mutual prayers. There would be no reconciliation. Showed that man nothing but hostility and aggression. The same hostility, the same aggression maybe that was at that track meet that fateful afternoon, that was under that tent. Some of you are not going to appreciate how important this father is. You just don't know how these criminal sentences work. I see your comments on YouTube and Twitter. You think, oh, this person killed that person, so put the killer in prison and throw away the key. Put him there for life. That's what you guys say. You have no idea. I will tell you that people kill people all the time, and the sentences range from insanity on the low end to insanity on the high.
But let me, and pretty much his point is already made. So, listen, I'm trying to think logically, right? The father comes, your son is still alive. He's got these charges, and the actual real victim he comes to your press conference, and you have nothing but contempt for the man that your son murdered. It doesn't even makes. I hate to say this because every so often my wife says I show my chauvinist side. It's a decision that not a man would make. I mean, if you're on your square, this is an opportunity for me to look square in another man's eyes. You know, I might even have tears in my eyes because my son fucked up. And I'm talking to him, and his son is dead. We would have a man-on-man conversation like a motherfucker, man. My wife wouldn't even be there. You know,
it would be a conversation of this went way too far.
Right.
And I'm sorry that my son took your son's life, and you can never get him back. And I do understand that my son deserves consequences for what he did. And you essentially you're asking for mercy. It's essentially what you're doing.
Exactly.
Essentially asking for mercy and saying, "Hey, look, like my son messed up," you know. And honestly, it's a reflection of me because I'm his dad. And so I'm supposed to teach him, you know, how to deal with these types of situations. And obviously, I didn't do a good enough job.
I didn't. That's right.
And it costs you. So I have to hold myself accountable to some degree here and face my failure that your son is no longer here. And I'm hoping that you will show some mercy, you know, because they went. And I agree with you. I think this has a lot more to do with you killed my baby, and you're going to get my baby locked up and arrested, and you're going to pay for it. Like he shouldn't have. It's the idea of he shouldn't have had to stab me. He shouldn't have had to do that. And I'm like, I was in high school. We got into beefs with the other teams all the time.
All the time, man.
It's crazy. You know, the intensity is flowing. Everything's like everybody's all hopped up. Like, you know what I mean? Like this is going to happen, but it didn't end with somebody dying.
It's crazy. It's absolute nuts. And so that's pretty much, you know, it's sad. It's sad. The lead attorney, you know, showed a lot there. You know, he said a lot, and I was with him. You know, he made his point. You know, and again, so we saw the culture, we saw the parents, right, and now we're gonna see. You know, let me go ahead and get that ready. So we saw the culture, saw the parents. So now it's really the lawyer, right? And it's the lawyer's turn to be brought to the front of the congregation, man. You know, and I don't know if it's all his fault. Maybe he was the best lawyer that money could buy. And, you know, and sometimes that's what you got. You know, so you can't really change that. So let me go ahead and let's just talk about that for a little bit. Where the hell is it at? There it is. So wait a minute. There it goes. There it goes. All right. So, and we'll come back to you. So before we get started, let me just tell you that these ladies are going to talk a little bit about the voir dire process and tell people out there this is how it turned out to have an all-white, not an all-white jury, but a mixed jury of whites and Asians, and I think there was Hispanics on there. All right, and so they go through the process, and I think a lot of people need to be educated on how the whole voir dire process and how Black people, actually eliminate themselves for being on a jury pool based on their behavior, based on the right? You know what I'm saying? So these ladies who are conservative, by the way, came up and I said, well, I found this. Let's go ahead and play it for a little bit. And I cut a lot out of it, but, they're women. So we're going to have to go through 10,000 words, So a lot of women, they go like that.
All right. Take a look at this clip talking about the jury.
There is a decision that Judge John Roach is behind closed doors making right now that could have a major impact, not only on the outcome of this trial, but also on the public perception of it. The prosecution has used its strikes to remove 3 prospective jurors who are Black. They made up 100% of those who are qualified who are Black to serve on this jury. Now, the defense is protesting this vehemently, arguing that it violates legal rulings. As anyone who has followed this case knows, race has become a talking point even well before this trial because the defendant is Black and the victim was white. The prosecution argues that the circumstances surrounding this case, being a school fight in a school stadium, make it, quote, race neutral, meaning that race did not play a factor in the crime and the makeup of the jury doesn't have to legally reflect that. The judge is expected to make a ruling at any minute.
The jury has entered the courtroom, and there are 18 jurors and alternates. There are 10 women and 8 men. It's a mix of ethnicities, white, Middle Eastern, and Southeast Asian. No Black jurors, as we reported, as has been reported today, to the objection of the defense. All right, Nicole, what are your thoughts on that? Because it's made a lot of headlines today in the news, and Black folks are upset. Of 6.
So now they were made in 2 ladies, Nicole and Shelley. They go through different aspects of how we got to where we are. And they do a decent job of that. So it should be quite straightforward and understandable.
100 people and only 4 Blacks are included in that net because we're not in the jury.
600 people and only 4 Black people were in that net. That's just incredible. Especially in that era, even though it's like mid-affluent, whatever, not affluent, but mid-level, 12% of the population was Black in that area, but they only got 4 jurors out of 600.
Ask Black people how often they do jury duty.
I know.
So this is crazy to me. If you were to ask somebody who's objecting about Black jurors being on there and say, how often have you done jury duty? See, I'm fortunate. I can get out of jury duty every time because I'm former law enforcement. So I just get out of it every time. I'm good. But ask them.
It's number 1.
Ask them. How often have you done
it? Yeah. Listen, I've been on a jury. It was a civil case. And it was only one I got picked for. Been in jury duty several times. You just don't get picked. But I thought it was one of the most interesting civics lessons as an adult I ever got. It was just interesting, man. Sitting here listening to these lawyers battle, So anybody out there, if you get a chance to serve on a jury, just go through the process, man. Be a citizen.
Number 2, this Batson challenge that they're having, this Batson challenge goes back to a Supreme Court case of Batson versus Kentucky from 1986. This Batson challenge says that you cannot eliminate someone explicitly on race, gender, or ethnicity. So you can't say, I don't want this person on a jury because she's a woman. However, you can say, I don't want this person on the jury because she parts her hair on the left, and I don't like people who part their hair on the left. You can use your strikes any old way you want, with the exception of race, gender, and ethnicity. Batson is hard to prove. And it's incredibly hard to prove because it can only be on race. It cannot be anything else. So there are three moving parts to Batson. Number one, the defense must bring the claim and say, hey, there were 3 Black jurors and they struck all 3 Black jurors. Okay. The second part of that, the burden then moves to the prosecution, to the state. The state in that part has to defend its position by saying, we removed the 3 Black women from the jury, not because they're Black, not because they're women, but because they're educators of teenage kids. They're going to bring some biases and some prejudices with them that we don't want to be a part of this case. The defense comes back and says, well, wait a minute. There's a white woman educator that you did not strike. You kept the white woman. Why get rid of the 3 Black women? The state comes back and says, she doesn't teach at a traditional school and she doesn't teach children. This is the difference. The judge weighed those options and he came back and defeated this Batson challenge and said, no, their strike stands. It wasn't because of race. It was not because of gender. This was a part of their strategy for their case. So
let me stop her right there, right? So we find ourselves with no Blacks on this jury. And a lot of people like to compare this to the child case. Right? I'll come back to this in a second. A lot of them like to compare this to the child case. The Asian guy didn't have any Asians on the jury. And nobody wants to say this, right? In the Black diaspora, there were 6 Black people on the jury that set him free.
You talking about Mr. Child?
Yeah. There were 6.
Wasn't it? Was his lawyer Black?
And I didn't even want to mention the lawyer. And his lawyer was Black. Right. So, but the fact is that, you know, this whole notion that your jury or your peers is your only hope it actually is not true. I mean, he didn't have no Asians on this thing. None. Right. And
somebody in the chat made a really good comment. They said jury of your peers doesn't mean jury of your race.
Exactly.
I love that.
They hit that. But this lady's hit that. They hit it pretty good.
This is going to be something that we hear later on, if and when Karmelo is convicted. This would be something that would be part of an appeal. And that's going to be an ongoing list. Every time the defense attorneys think that there's something that would help in an appeal, they're going to kind of highlight it. They're going to make sure the media knows about it. So they're setting themselves up just in case this young man is convicted for the murder. So this is a very interesting first blow.
So number one, jury selection matters because it's supposed to be a representation of the area, the jurisdiction that you're in. What people like to say, a jury of your peers. Let's talk about that a little bit. So the Supreme Court has already ruled that a jury of your peers does not have to, nor does it only mean that the people have to look like you. Your skin color, primarily. That's not a criteria necessarily for a jury of your peers. However, let me give you a couple of the demographics of Collin County where this case is being tried. So Collin County is, let me pull up my numbers here. Okay. Collin County, demographically, it's about 63% white people. Black people about 12%, Asian about 20% or so, and there's some other ethnicities as well. Hispanic is about 16%, and some other mixed race categories in there. So demographically, it's the broad demographic.
Hey, can we stop it for a second? Because that's important.
Now, that's one.
Go ahead.
That's extremely important because I don't think people understand this concept of how juries work. Is that it's a representation of the jurisdiction. Not of the people, you know what I mean? Like of the person that's on trial. It's of the jurisdiction. And so she just sat there and told you 63% of the damn jurisdiction is white. So you were expecting for them to have a larger representation when only 12% of the damn jurisdiction is Black? Like, it's not common sense. Some of this stuff is just kind of common sense.
And you ain't gonna listen, you'd be lucky if 12% was represented in that whole pool. We know it was a whole lot less than that. So it's just incredible. But like, how many people though, Trey, are going to try to get into understanding how the system works, other than just their emotions and flowing with, we're a victim again. And this doesn't just go for blacks. Most people don't.
Emotions feel better. If I can just say, hey, I don't like it, I don't have to explain why I don't like it. I can just say I don't like it until I get challenged on, well, why don't you like it? And then you look like an idiot. Well, I don't like the system because of X, Y, and Z. This is why I don't like it. But most people, especially people in our community, can't explain why they don't necessarily like it. All they can do is just keep pulling up shit that happened 100 years ago, 150 years ago. And it doesn't necessarily correlate to what's actually happening today. The reason why there were no black people on that jury is because there weren't enough of them. And by the way, this is the point. I'm not going off course here a little bit, but I asked you again. I asked you guys on Friday, was Martin Luther King right? Was desegregation the way? I'm going to ask you again. I'm going to put that question out to the black people. Was Martin Luther King right? Was desegregation the way? Because he would have been, had this not been the case, he more than likely would have been in the neighborhood of his own people.
Right.
And therefore his own people would have been on the jury.
Well,
but no, we wanted to desegregate and we want to move out to the suburbs and we want to get the big house and we want to, okay, well, guess what? You are outnumbered. I know, because I live in one of them type of neighborhoods and my neighbors are Indian, white, and Hispanic.
Right. Yeah. I hear you. The side of town I live in is mostly Jewish. And God help me, I'm happy about that because my property values.
And if you commit a crime, guess who's going to be sitting on your jury?
No doubt. But the point really is, now it's kind of funny because we're going in reverse. I believe at one point black people were the only people in America who gave a shit about integration. I think too many of us still do. I don't hear a lot of other people thinking I want to live around everybody else. Now, if you think about black culture and the blackity blacks, they want to do everything that's all black. They want to resegregate, right? There was at the French Open, I believe one of the Open, I think it was the French Open, the black tennis players had a black-only party. How are you going to go to France and these high-fluting tennis players and have a black-only party and think that nobody's going to give you flack over that? It's just stupid.
And if you've never been to France, they got some racial issues over there.
Yeah, I mean,
if you've never been over there, you wouldn't know.
About the optics. You're an affluent person, and you're going to tell all these people, these tennis players, the black ones, don't have any white friends and associates, that they're going to say, well, you can't come to the party because you ain't black. Think about how stupid that shit really sounds. And in the backdrop, if the white tennis players, Marie Sharapova and them got together and said, hey, listen, little black, you're a little black and a little fat. You can't come in.
Here's the thing. There's a better way to do it. You don't have to be so overt about it. You can still have your black only party. You just don't have to tell. Like, my thing is, why do we have to announce everything?
Everything.
We got to tell everything. You could have your black only party and nobody would have known.
Exactly. It's just crazy, man. You know what? But that's where you're going. A lot of kind of stuff, stupid shit going on like that.
Number 2, in the Batson Challenge, there's I think there's two parts to that challenge. So as Nicole mentioned, I don't know if you mentioned this, Nicole, but let me say this. Each side has 10 pre-emptory strikes. Mm-hmm. Okay? So that's 12 for the jury, and then each side, a total of 32 pre-emptory strikes were allowed for the whole pre-emptory, the voir dire back and forth. The challenge, the basic challenge strikes, there's no limit on them. Each side can use as many as they need to dwindle or narrow down the jury to 12. Remember, the initial jury pool, the pool of applicants, if you will, or the pool of qualified jurors based on driver's licenses, being registered to vote, things like that, was 600. That 600 was narrowed down to 250. And now out of that 250, we have 12 jurors plus 6 alternates. Mm-hmm. Both sides, the defense and the prosecution, each side had 10 pre-emptory strikes. I think the Batson case, again, the Batson challenge is not primarily, again, you cannot just get rid of someone, like Nicole said, for race, ethnicity, or sex. Now, the I think this is important because I think it's important for two reasons. The fact that there are no Black jurors on the jury, I think is going to be, it's sad on both sides. Why? Because to me, it says that both sides, the defense and the prosecution, they were both using or relying on race or racial stereotypes for different reasons. The prosecution side they based their conclusions that Black people, in my estimation, I'm giving broad speak here. They based their conclusions on, okay, I don't want Black people possibly, these are educators, yes, but they also use the questionnaires to preempt them. The jurors themselves said that they were not able to be impartial, that they would have a hard time convicting. I think one of them was quoted as saying a brother, okay?
Yeah, that was Black man.
The jurors excluded themselves. Whether it was on purpose or not, I don't know, but they did, add to that exclusion. The defense, on the other hand, was relying on the racial makeup or the skin color of jurors. So both sides have used race to their advantage and or disadvantage, depending on whether or not you're the prosecution or the defense. I will say again that the jurors themselves, based on the questions, the voir dire process, they did say themselves that they could not be impartial.
All right, so let me stop there. What's going on, Rogish? What's happening?
Chilling. I want to see.
How much have you seen? Let me get y'all up here so I can.
I've seen a decent amount. When you start.
So what's your opinions? What's your opinions on the 4 levels of failure?
I didn't catch the 4 levels of failure.
One was culture.
Okay, culture.
The second was the parents. And right now we're on the lawyer.
Right.
Okay. And the next one is Karmelo himself, but we didn't get there yet. So we're still on the lawyer with one little.
And what was the coach? What was the culture? Summary.
I think any Black person being honest with themselves say our culture is the one that we purvey around the world. It's just fucked up. It's bad. It's bifurcated.
If it's so bad, why do everybody try to copy it if it's so bad?
Well, listen, people copy bad shit more than they copy good stuff.
No, but they copy the good and the bad of us.
Now, listen, here's the point. The point really is that we have a bifurcated community. I'm not talking about the affluent part. The way we're portrayed around the world is fucking decadent. It's decadent as hell. The rock music, the way we raise our children.
That's what white people like.
Yeah, okay. So they might like it. That doesn't make it right.
No, it's not right. But that's not our only style of music that we create. But that's the taste that they have.
Yeah, but Rogus, we know.
And they the owners.
Okay, here's the point. It's not the only style of music, right?
Distribution.
Okay, it doesn't have to be the only style of music. It just has to be well enough accepted that it can make a difference in how we are portrayed around the world. So the way we're portrayed is by the lowest hanging fruit.
No. That's what the world accepts of us. The world the world does not like being obligated to respect us at our cultural dynamic and setting.
Yeah, well, forget about the world. Why do we accept that shit?
Well, Black people accept it because they don't know themselves. They don't know themselves, or they're trying to impress white people.
Okay, and that's bad, right? It's all bad. But anyway, so that's the first one is cultural. The next one is the parents.
But hold up, that's not the only cultural defect within this stuff.
No, it was you had to be here, so I don't want to rehash all that. It was a whole bunch of points. We were talking about ownership in the neighborhood, that we don't own our neighborhoods. We don't have a vested interest in the upkeep or the shops or the stores, all that kind of. It's like we're mass, and we're talking about the hood. Everybody else.
Okay, but wait a minute. Wait. We're talking about the hood. Black people don't fucking value the hood. Black people use the hood the same as non-Black people do. How we gonna call the hood into an accountability when the hood is attacked, the hood is sabotaged, the hood is preyed upon?
Okay, so you're working into my favor.
Inside and out. But all black people are not of hood of hood character, though. That's not the average of our character.
We got to stop talking about all, because it's just enough to make a difference. So nobody talks about, well, when we have these conversations.
But when people say black, people always bring up hood.
Hold on for a second. It's part of it. You weren't here, so I'm not going to rehash the whole shit. Because there was all kinds of different parts. So you could go back on the replay. This is a perfect one for you to go back on the replay and watch what we said about the cultural thing. Because we talked about ownership. We talked about the ratchetness of the culture, music, dance, our relationships with each other, the whole 9 yards. And I'm saying all of this is part of Karmelo's experience of being a black man today, right? Because his parents, his parents have enough of that kind of stuff in them that, and the matriarchal landscape on top of it, kind of failed this kid at the cultural level. At the cultural level, this guy. Listen, you can.
Okay, so wait a minute. What was the cultural level that the Pilgrim and his brother was supposed to supply to there that had some form of merit?
I'm out, bro. I'm out.
No, don't go there. Don't go yet.
No, I'm done. You starting from the beginning, so I'm out. I'll catch y'all on that.
I'm not going to go back to the beginning.
Well, wait. Y'all didn't have that conversation amongst yourselves, so don't act like y'all had that conversation. Come back, cop. Come on back, cop. You good?
You and I are not going to go back all the way there. I gave you.
But no. Hear me out. I know y'all did not have that type of volley because he's probably in the stance more like where you are, especially being former law enforcement.
Let's hold on.
And y'all seem to be calling black people into a white accountability. It seemed like it's one of those kind of things.
That's absolutely ridiculous, and you're going to have to look at the replay, and we're not going to rehash that. You missed it. You got to come on time next time. So I'm going to finish this off. And you made me lose my tray and shit. I wanted some more stuff from him. So here's another part of where the lawyers went wrong.
So we did everything that we was advised and told to do, and look what happened.
So who was they? You said that they told you. Who was they? Was it your defense attorney?
Yeah. So we were, because about him being 18, so what they did was they kind of played everybody against everybody. If you could say, I'm not going to say they played us against each other, but it's almost they had him scared, like, hey, this, I'm a lawyer, this. So as me being a father, all right, you're the guy, I'm okay with playing my position, and I don't want to overstep any boundaries. Everybody kept saying, hey, to beat this. I even went to some black attorneys. They're like, oh, you need a white attorney to go out there to fight out there. Remember they were telling us that? They kept telling us that. So everybody like, why y'all didn't? Everybody was telling us, okay. So then when we get it, they basically tossed them over.
So he's going through some of the things on why they got a white lawyer. I'm not sure I agree with who made the decision to get the white lawyer.
I don't think that should matter.
A lot of objections wasn't done. It's a lot.
It shouldn't matter.
It's a lot that wasn't.
The point is, they didn't really spend that $600,000 on getting them the best lawyer they could. That's.
Wait. Do people think he shouldn't have got no time? Those who are in his corner, do they think he shouldn't have got no time?
There's enough people out there. You asking me? You've been around the black YouTube and everywhere else. There's a lot of people think he shouldn't have got any time. There's too many black people.
No, that's goofy. He shouldn't have got no damn 35 years, but definitely some time.
Well, he shouldn't have got first-degree murder.
Right.
Yeah, I think that shouldn't have been
manslaughter 5 to 3.
He shouldn't have got no time. He shouldn't have got no time.
Or involuntary manslaughter.
He shouldn't have got no time.
Okay, BW, explain why he should have got no time.
He shouldn't have got no time because people need to learn. Everybody's talking about his parents failed him. Well, the white boy's parents failed him too because they didn't teach him, keep your fucking hands to yourself.
There you go. Yeah,
okay. And if he would have learned that valuable lesson, he wouldn't be maggot food right now.
And unfortunately, that's exactly right. But it's your state that has those stay on the ground laws, BMU. Right, and putting your hands on somebody is not a defense for being murdered, right, or for being killed.
But it's the same city where the boy killed 6 people and he got probation. White boy killed 6 people
You're talking about the drunk driver, right?
The 16-year-old stole his daddy's truck, got drunk, killed 6 people, and got probation.
Yeah. Okay. So when was that case? That case was like what? The point really is you can't compare cases like that.
There's a whole bunch of them though.
Well, the point really is.
Shadow, come on up here, Shadow. The link in the chat, man. If you don't see it,
you can only compare. You can only really adjudicate the cases that you have, and these comparisons are almost like meaningless, man.
Okay, but this is my thing. Do you think the court would take into consideration how out of pocket these pilgrims actually live out here as a culture here in Texas? I've been here since '93. We moved here from California. I'm from North Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm from the Midwest where there is no gray area. It is only black
we got
and white. On the West Coast, it's gray area. They're not as out of pocket as they are here in the South. You know what I'm saying? A little bit more laid back, passive aggressive, a little laid back, but they still got that thing with them. You know what I mean? Here in Texas, they're passive aggressive, they're snarky. They're very inflated of themselves.
So they should be murdered.
No, not that they should be murdered. Understood that they're going to encroach more than any other sector here.
Yeah,
and they live out of pocket. So they should be checked. Nobody say murder.
I agree with you. I agree with that. And
the black people here don't check them because homie's from Louisiana. If Austin thought that was a regular black person from Texas. Black people from Texas don't check the Peckerwood.
Well, you just had BMU on. He would beg to differ.
I'm from Louisiana too. Moved to Texas, so same thing.
Louisiana. No, y'all check them. Louisiana here in Texas will check them. A black Texan from here, oh no, they'll let them make it. It'll be that southern southern hospitality shit.
Well,
whatever.
Before you go any further, so in this particular case,
what up, Shadow?
In this particular case, right, my man Karmelo checked the dude, right? He checked him.
Well, no. Dude overstepped his boundaries. Dude overstepped his boundaries, and he protected himself. That wasn't a checking. That was a protecting himself.
Now you fucking missing words, brother.
Ain't nobody missing words. It's all about intention. If you don't think intention means something when they take these things to court or when they do the analysis, then you're mistaken, brother.
No. I think you. What's the definition of check then?
What mean? What's the definition of check?
That's what I'm saying. The guy came to Karmelo.
When something pops up, you either present yourself as a neutralizer or a dominator over that shit.
And Karmelo told him to go pound salt when he tried to kick him out of the tent.
Okay, he was invited, but he was invited.
That same guy didn't say that. He wasn't invited. That same guy didn't say that on the stand.
No, he didn't say that on the stand, and he said he didn't know.
He read this on the show the other night. He was invited. Black people, if you want to keep something from a nigga, put it in a book. These niggas don't read, bro.
Look, they need a narrative. They need a narrative that goes along with the motherfucking bootlicking.
No,
but don't get Shadow in our pain because I know he finna cook.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. He was up there. You know it. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Listen, we're going through the 4 levels of failure, and we're on the 3rd one, the lawyer. You know, so I'm not going to re-adjudicate the whole show as much as I can, but that's where we are right now. But since your guys came up here, what do y'all have to say? Who was up there first, Shadow? Yep. Then Black America. Go ahead, Shadow. What you got to say?
The lawyer. Hey, I lost my voice at the protest. So.
Oh shit! Yeah, it sounds like it, man. God damn.
Hey, but the lawyer was absolutely ineffective. There was 0 objections filed during that trial. That makes 0 sense. Because let's look at it in a realistic sense. Even if the lawyer didn't believe Karmelo was defending himself, he didn't even try to argue it. He mentioned self-defense. He mentioned self-defense, but he never actually filed the defense of self-defense. They never looked at the elements of self-defense. Of course, he didn't argue it.
Facts.
Hey man, thanks for the $2, by the way, to the channel. All right, go ahead, Black America. What you got to say?
So this is what I have to say. This is failures on several different parts of the men, of the grown men that are in charge of these children. And I'm gonna give you a quick story. One of my kids was bullying a kid in school. When I get home, the old lady is like, go in there and beat him to death. Right? I'm like, I mean, that's the first thing, Payne, she said when I came in the house was go in there and beat him to death. Right? And I'm like, so I go in there and then I have a conversation. What's going on? And he says, I was bullying a kid. The kid had autism. So now I'm seething mad, right? Now I'm upset. But then I had to take a moment and think, this is where I messed up, right? Okay. And so I see that in the boy who passed away, his father. This is where he messed up. If my boy is out here bullying somebody, this is where I messed up. That father came to pray with the family to try and he was ticked.
Oh yeah, man. You are you driving or something? Because you blacked out there, Black America.
Through a mountain.
No, in Black America.
No. The old lady's called.
If that autistic boy would have turned around and stabbed your son, what would you have done?
Yeah. She's on. I think somebody's on his phone. Go ahead, man.
My son's fault.
Exactly.
I couldn't have said anything. I couldn't have said anything because it was my son's fault. It's nothing.
Right.
Hey, my wife is calling. My wife is calling. I'm gonna have to call you guys back, man.
Yeah. You know when your brother's buddy, brother, get off the phone, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but see, you see what I'm saying, though, Arbane? He just said he couldn't do nothing about it if that autistic boy would have turned around and murked his son. He couldn't do nothing about it.
Hey, BMU, come on, let's be honest, man. Let me say, these are bad examples because I hate to use your family examples like that. You would actually not say anything if somebody murked your son for bullying him?
If my son is fucking around and finding out, what can I say? What can I go to my son's defense and say, hey, my son really went up here and pushed this boy down on the ground. This boy got up and bust my son's head to the white meat. He dead. What can I say? My son should have left.
Okay, so all right, so somehow you would find peace with the fact that your son was at fault.
My son, I will whisper in my son's ear on his desk on the table and say, son, why the fuck was you bullying somebody? I always tell my son.
Hold up, BMU.
Let him finish.
I tell my son all the time, don't start no fight, but you finish that motherfucker.
Finish it every time.
On you beat the shit out of him.
Yep, every time.
And if it's more than one, you come and knock him the fuck out.
I think people got a problem. People got a problem that this shit happened to a white boy. I don't give a fuck what none of y'all say. All y'all got a problem that this shit happened to a white boy. Like these motherfuckers ain't supposed to get checked. Like they don't live out of pocket. Like they ain't all like no. I ain't just talking to y'all on the panel. I'm talking to the motherfuckers in the chat too. All these fucking bitch stewies talking all that shit. Y'all just mad because it happened to a motherfucking Peckerwood. Right? You mad at that, and y'all think that y'all not supposed to get checked, and that y'all always going to have some form of authority presentation within that shit.
Man, we got
Get out of
here. Go ahead, Shadow.
Quick question. Is there anybody presently on this panel that believes Karmelo committed illness specifically?
Nope.
That he committed what?
I believe it was manslaughter. I believe it was manslaughter.
I agree with that. In fact, I would even agree with negligent homicide.
Yeah.
So let me step into this conversation professionally because I'm not only in Collin County, I'm in Frisco. I have children in that school district. Right now I'm gonna disassemble every argument people keep making. He wasn't allowed in the tent. That's not real. people who have kids, students in Texas know better. So when people say that, it doesn't mean anything. 2, they asked him to leave. Yes, but they didn't have any authority to make him leave. Hence why Austin tried to.
It's their school. Why not?
Let them finish.
They were right. They got all the authority.
No, here's why. Here's why not. Because the only person who has the authority to move a student from any location, period, is people who have an actual authority, i.e. the coach. Because the coaches were responsible at that time. Are you in Texas? I just want to make sure.
Yeah, definitely.
No, but I have been playing sports all my life, and I have been to hold on 1 second. And I have been to jamborees in my entire life. A jamboree is where you put a bunch of different teams together and you guys play sports. I played football, but a jamboree, you are gang banging at that point. You have separate teams, separate people, and you do not mess with the other side. So listen to what I'm saying. You do not go in someone else's territory. And if that other person in that territory, I don't care if your friend is sitting over there or not, and they tell you to leave, that is what you must do to keep the peace.
How can we blend the subjective and the objective? We talking law, right? He was found guilty in the court of law. It don't matter if it's gangbanging to the schools or the students involved in anything like that. When you come to jump somebody, when you come 3 to 4 deep, you don't expect to get no response.
Nobody hit him.
They did.
That's why I'm asking y'all.
You got all those witnesses. You got all those witnesses that got videos and saying that nobody asked me for my information. There's at least 2 sisters out there, 1 brother. Are you kidding me? They done set this shit up against the brother, and y'all trying to figure out what is the most lawful way that he could have handled this in order to get a better fucking deal.
Videos were in the court. I don't know. Go ahead, Shadow. What you gonna say?
So I'm asking realistic questions, and y'all are not you, whoever just spoke, but you came in with the counter based on a subjective response. I'm telling you, based on Frisco ISD school policy, those students were literally out of pocket. So with that being said, in Texas, we have something called disproportional force. And what that means is if you are in the position to be jumped, and let me ask you this question, and I need you to give me an honest answer. If Karmelo would have swung off on Austin or Hunter, is it reasonably expected that the other would have immediately jumped in on him?
No. No, it's not reasonably be expected.
Hey, bro,
let me explain to you. I'm going to explain to you why I can't have this conversation with you based on the facts. Number 1, the confrontation was started by Hunter. Hunter was Hunter's initial statement is he felt guilty because he caused the initial confrontation. Austin put his hands on Karmelo first, and then Karmelo's response was, touch me again and see I got something for you. That immediately implies that he's touched him once. Just base logic, right? This is just us being
Hunter,
hold on.
Hunter walked away.
Answer the question, bro.
Hunter walked away. He disengaged.
Answer the question.
The video does not agree with what you just said. Because
did you see the video? Because none of us have.
I saw the video from a year ago when Frisco ISD put it up. Yes, both brothers were still right there, and they flanked him. There was a reasonable expectation to believe he would have been jumped by both brothers. Most people who have siblings.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
A serious question. Because I have been fighting and gang banging all my life. Have you ever been jumped?
Oh God.
Yes.
Hey, nigga, I've been jumped.
Okay.
And you're still a lie.
Hold up.
And you're still a lie.
And your subjective anecdotal experience don't mean shit to the question he asked you, cuz.
I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is if you are presented with a fight, sir, then you fight. You don't need to use a weapon if you're presented with a fight.
So I'm going to make my argument. Please stop making random points.
Hold on for a second, everybody. Hold on for a second. One Scam, how you doing? Listen, we gotta do one mic here, or else I'm putting every fucking body down. All right, that's what I'm saying. All right, so listen, the real point really is this: there's the rules that you're talking about, Shadow. And then there's street rules that don't pay attention to any of that shit. Now, I agree. Yes. I agree that we don't know. Karmelo wouldn't have no idea who might jump in if he would have started fighting the first guy. It's reasonable for him to anticipate somebody else would have jumped in. To say that that's not reasonable, that's not street. It's a good chance somebody else would have jumped in. But all of this shit doesn't, any of that raised to the level of him stabbing a motherfucker. I mean, I think that's where we got to go.
Absolutely.
No, I got you. Wait, hold up. I got you.
That was definitely.
Will you allow me to allow me to actually explain why it does rise to it?
Go ahead.
By taking it by individual standard, each individual piece, you can say each individual thing would not equate to it, right? But that's not how the law works. You look at the totality of the circumstances. Karmelo was outweighed and outhided by both brothers, right? So because of that, there was a disproportional force that was potential. In order to be considered self-defense, the legal standard is either in fear of death or serious bodily harm. Is that a fair point?
Okay, go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
Okay. He was a football player.
Let them continue, though, man. Black America, let them continue. Because in the end, Shadow, based on your logic, obviously it didn't work in court.
Right, but hold up. Do you want to know why it didn't work in court? It was never raised. The jury cannot bring it. The jury cannot decide on something that was never presented. The lawyer's failure was to bring any form of self-defense. He didn't even argue self-defense for him. Yes, he mentioned self-defense, but that is mentioning self-defense and raising self-defense are two completely different legal standards.
I got you.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I do. Hold it right there. Sam Likely, how you doing, man? What you got to say, man? I know you've been sitting there. Hey, somebody put that mic on thing and speak.
Yeah, I jumped in the middle. So what's the actual question that's being asked?
Well, I mean, in general, we're here talking about the 4 levels of failure of Karmelo Anthony: cultural, his parents, and now we're talking about the lawyer. And I got one more little clip that I'd like all of y'all to see. So there were some failures at the lawyer level, and almost everybody agrees on that. We might not agree on what that was, but so that's where we are right now. We're talking about the lawyer. Did you have any opinion on that level or any other general level? Should he have murder, or should it never been to that level, or should it just been manslaughter? Or you think he should have went free?
I'm not gonna do the beat up on Karmelo thing. Neither am I gonna do the beat up on the other dude, or just pick side, start beating on it.
But you had to beat on
one side was all perfect,
opinion, man.
But as far as the parents, one, these are 17-year-olds,
right?
2 people. Let's be real. Sitting in the cafeteria, you sitting in my seat. I was sitting there yesterday. Whatever territory, whatever. This is kid stuff. Just like the same adults. Why are you in my parking space? So to just throw race in the air? No. Just throw race in the air because he was white, because of the black, because of the no. And these people knew each other, allegedly. Territory, argument, you ain't supposed to be here, you're supposed to be. That's kid stuff. That's just what it is. I don't want to beat up on the parents because I was 17. I've been grown and I didn't know all these laws and stand your grounds and fear. Don't nobody know all this stuff. And you don't. And when you're into something, you don't know how everything's gonna play out.
Thank you,
But-
Scam Likely. How was he
but-
supposed to know the goddamn law? Thank
No,
you.
hold on. Here's the thing.
Thank
However, you're still responsible for making the best decision possible. And if you make a bad one, you'll find out the law when you get there.
Of course.
That's reality. I didn't know I was supposed to run that. Wasn't supposed to run that red light, and you crunch somebody, and they fly off a motorcycle. It's negligent homicide. It is what it is. The whole thing is unfortunate. The whole situation.
I agree with that.
Because possibly, this is the thing I really don't like. Possibly he believed that pulling out that knife was the right decision to do. When you say touch me and see what happens, that's not fear for my life. Fear for my life is you trying to get the hell up out of there because you're gonna die. If a dog is chasing you, you trying to climb a tree with 3 hands if you can. That's fear for your life. Or you fighting with anything, any kind of way, but you're not barking back at the dog. Come on, do something, do something. But he was failed, and what I'll say it, I don't care what y'all say. What's more failing is people who keep pushing this stand your ground, fear for the life, that you can just throw that out there or throw race out there and get away with taking somebody's life. I don't think it was first degree. God, no, it was not. Second or third, and I would have gave him extremely more minimal charge. He showed remorse. It was what it was. It was unfortunate, but yeah. I'm not going to just sit and say because of race, it was excusable. No. But yeah, these kids, man. And it went to a level it shouldn't have got to.
I got one more little beat.
Yes, it's true. If the dude never would have got up in the dude's grill and pushed and got in face, because once you are in conflict, people always want to use the street code. With the code of a man, the code of a street, that don't mean nothing. Ain't nobody signed that contract. Whatever happens, happens. So when the dude got in the dude's face, you don't know if this dude gonna cut you or not. Don't be pushing people. Don't get up in somebody's face. Leave people alone.
Hey,
all right,
fellas.
fellas.
Let me say this real quick, Arpain. When I was younger and I was taking the hand-to-hand combat and going over taking taekwondo, all this stuff, when I was young, growing up, I remember when I turned 18, he told us in class, he said, if by law, if anyone gets in your personal space, he said, I'm telling you not to go start a fight. Do not use what I'm teaching you on anybody. This is for self-defense only. He said, I want to teach you guys what it means to have someone in your personal space. He said, if they get in your personal space, you use these skills to wipe him out. Make sure he said, when you finish with him, make sure he's not moving, and then you give him CPR, but you wipe him out if he gets in your personal space. If he touches you, wipe him out. If he gets too close to you, wipe him out. Do not give him an opportunity to harm you whatsoever.
You have a right to defend your personal space.
Right there. That's what they teach you.
Well, just by law,
here's my problem with the conversation we're having.
But with force, not deadly.
Here's the wait a minute, because you're not. We're considering law, right? I'm speaking strictly from.
What he shared was culture. What he shared was culture, and that's one of the factors that goes omitted in any of this.
That part is culture. Okay, you can't, if you buck up against the law with your fucking culture, you're going to jail.
If you what now?
If you buck up against the law with your cultural norms that put somebody down and he ain't moving, you're going to fucking jail. Unless you agree.
Okay.
No,
Okay, but hold up. When it comes to this law, this law has already been lacking integrity.
Hold on, Rogish. If a man walk up to me and my girl, he get in my Arpain. I'm telling you right now. I'll put this on the cross that Jesus bare. If a man walk up to me in my personal space, I've even been told that in tactical class. When I was out shooting my guns and doing tactical classes, he told me, wipe him out and then give him CPR to show empathy. But get rid of his ass.
Hey, black man, you still got to prove.
What are you talking about?
No, I'm
you
not
still
saying
have to prove and defend.
That's right. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that, but understand what you're saying.
This mob
what I'm
ass law.
saying is, yeah, you're gonna defend yourself. if you're that triggered by the guy in your personal space, that you got to put him down where he ain't moving anymore. That's more than just him being.
It's not a trigger. If they are approaching
man,
with
he's
threat,
attacking you.
if they are approaching with threat, if they are approaching with threat, see, this is the issue. Everybody wants black people to take some bullshit from everybody, and we ain't never. No. I've heard this shit since I was a little kid. That people would say, pick your battles. Hey, hold up. This is another one that we learned from y'all. Pick your battles. Pick your battle. Pick your battles. And Ebonics mean don't fight that battle. And everybody always say, pick your battles. Pick your battles. Don't fight. Don't fight. Never fucking fight. Right? When the fuck do we get to humanly stand our motherfucking ground outside of law? Fuck law. Just because we're living beings upon this world.
That's why this is about race.
And we can be afforded whatever harmony that we create for ourselves. Fuck how these devils feel about
that's
law.
Guys, that's why this isn't about race.
They mob as fuck.
Because here's the issue that we actually have. Because everybody's trying to make it about race, and it's not. Because if you look at the facts of the case, if you look at what actually happened, at the end of the day, if you're saying Karmelo had no right to defend himself, you're saying it was okay for Austin to put his hands on him unwarrantedly. And that is where it's not okay.
But Chad, I haven't heard anybody said that that Karmelo didn't have the right to defend himself. I haven't heard one person say that.
So why are you on such defense then? Hold up. Where does your defense come from? Where does your defense of Metcalf come from then? Because you sound like you defended Metcalf.
I have not fucking defended Metcalf.
You sound like I said. You sound like, homie.
Because you ain't listening. Because you're so fucking.
I'm listening like a motherfucker.
No, you ain't.
Ain't no crazy.
No, you ain't.
Ain't no look, dog, ain't no crazy. Y'all don't want us standing up to these motherfuckers in ways that y'all didn't in the past. That's what it is. And y'all think that the next youth generation is going to be holding to that same behold to the white goddamn authority like y'all did. Generation to generation before. That shit is going to wear off.
You know what? Here's the thing.
It is going to wear off. I hope y'all don't think it's going to stay forever.
All of this shit, but you wasn't.
Ain't nobody talking. No, I want to hear that talking that shit. I saw these devils put crack in my motherfucking neighborhood, cuz. What you talking about?
You fucking living off of your fucking fathers, the older guys who went through the
exactly, and the bulk of y'all wanted to be with these motherfuckers or like these motherfuckers or accepted by these motherfuckers. The bulk of y'all did.
It didn't have anything to do with that.
I mean,
it didn't have any. You guys are turning a simple fight into a race thing. It doesn't have anything to do with race.
We're talking culture. When we say black, when I say black and white, I'm not talking race. I'm not talking skin color because can't nobody choose their skin color. I'm talking culture. I'm talking that shit that was here before I was fucking born. If you want to say that this shit does not have a culture attached to it, you're fucking nuts. Ain't nobody talking race.
Wait, hold on. I want to understand your point.
Wait, hold on, Rogish. So he should have killed that motherfucker, right? Is that what you're saying?
No. He didn't have to die. He didn't have to die. Exactly. I'm saying he shouldn't have got no fucking 35 years. Ain't no way he should have got no 35 years.
Here's my question to you.
Did he take another child's life? Hold on. Did he take another child's life?
Yes, he did.
Hold on, Shadow.
Okay, so could he have fought like we have all been doing? I'm over 50 years old. Could he have?
You keep making this about
like
you.
We have all been doing. No, because all of us have been in a fight, right? Like we're boys.
But he had
all of us ain't being jumped.
But Black, he had not. No, that's fine. But he had not. So again, the reason why I can argue for Karmelo,
this boy was put out of school. You do know that this boy was put out of school
he wasn't.
A few months back for bringing a knife.
There is no credible. There's no credible evidence to support that. That was never established in the trial. And that statement, the score records don't support that. I don't know where you got that from, but you're listening to people who don't know.
I can't have a conversation with people being disingenuous.
I want to advance this conversation, okay? I just want to advance it a little bit. All right, just a little bit. I have this piece I want you guys to respond to. So give me a second. I'm going to play it, and I want y'all to respond to it afterwards, okay? All four of you. So be quiet. Let me go ahead and get this up there, and let me run it, all right? I mean, shit, man, there's so many people up here now. I got to find it, and not that one. Let me go ahead. Where's it at? Shit. It's moved. Shit, I don't know if it got... Anyway, here it is. There it is. All right. So let me go ahead and play this, and I'll fix all of you guys up.
And violent, and that's the type of kid that the parents raise.
Coming up after this.
Karmelo
now, this is the guy I want y'all to listen to, and let me know what you think about what he says going way through.
Didn't testify. Any speculation he might have a previous violent history the defense didn't want to expose. Yeah, that is my speculation. He has bad things that would be exposed if he had taken the witness stand. Listen, they had to put him on the witness stand.
So part of what I'm going to ask you is, why didn't he take the stand? And do you believe what this guy is going to get ready to say? So that's what we're going to talk about afterwards.
That's why we had that 2.5-hour delay before the defense rested. They knew they were sunk. It was done. Like I said in Tim Pool last night, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is this case for Karmelo Anthony? It's 100 bad. He might not. That judge could reasonably have denied Karmelo Anthony a self-defense jury instruction entirely. That's how far removed his conduct was from lawful self-defense. Now, the judge didn't do that. They're disinclined to do that. It's the only defense he has. So if you took it away, basically the judge would be convicting Karmelo Anthony. He wanted it to go to the jury. But they had nothing. They were underwater on self-defense. Underwater. They had to put Karmelo Anthony on the stand. Think of what he could have said. I'm so sorry. I panicked. I realize the tragedy of it now. I think every day about how Hunter and Austin's parents don't have him anymore. I can't believe I did something so stupid. I extracted such a high cost from that family for no good reason. But I see what I did was wrong. It'll never happen. You know, that bullshit. They could not give him the opportunity to do that because it would not have worked. Either he would have fucked it up, or it would have opened the door to the prosecution introducing all kinds of evidence, including character evidence. Once you're on the witness stand, you're just a witness. Your credibility, things you've done wrong in the past, all of that is now come on the table. You lose all those protections you have as a defendant, exercising the right to be silent. Now you're a witness. The jury gets to assess your credibility in the totality of the circumstances. They couldn't risk it. That's how bad this little demon is. He's so bad. He's such a shithead that his defense lawyers could not risk putting him on the stand, even to save his life from decades in prison.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So there you have it. Who wants
Shadow,
to
please. Shadow, please.
Go ahead, Shadow. Go ahead.
So first and foremost, he clearly had a biased opinion just based on his vernacular. So let's go ahead and pull all the way back. Let's peel back that onion he just had. So number one, because of now kids act out, because kids, and we've all agreed, kids can be kind of reckless. They would have used his social media history to try to imply something that his actual conduct may not have supported. We know it here because Black America just tried to make a comment about him being suspended. But one of the things that the coach actually mentioned during the trial is that he had never been in trouble before. You know who was suspended previously? Austin Metcalf. So we start talking about, again, I love he used the totality of circumstances and then proceeded to character assassinate. So you want to know why his statement has flaws? Because had he got on the stand, a number of things could have happened. The fact that he had saved someone's life before, that's a positive character message, right? Most people would agree to that. The fact that he had never been in a fight before, because had the defense attorney done their job, when he tried to learn how to fight, when he tried to learn boxing, his boxing coach made a statement to the news saying Karmelo couldn't throw a punch to save his life. because he'd never been in a fight. So, with that being said, if he believed he was going to be jumped and he had a tool that was used as a weapon, it would have been reasonable to believe that if I get jumped by them, I might get hurt. I have a medical history. Keep in mind, they didn't subpoena his doctor. They didn't bring his parents. They didn't bring anybody who knew his medical condition. They didn't bring his coach. These are failures on the defensive counsel, because in order to even argue self-defense, you need witnesses to support it. Where were those witnesses? They didn't exist. They didn't exist at that trial. Conveniently, they're all coming out of the woodwork now. So the lawyer couldn't reach out to anybody, to anyone at all.
Yeah, you got it, Black America. When he's finished, you ready to land there, Shadow?
I'm about to land. So with that being said, because they didn't bring the disproportionate force, which is protected by Texas Penal Code, because they didn't bring the actual video that showed how close Austin had got when he got stabbed, because they didn't actually talk about the things that would mitigate Karmelo's issue, and then they didn't put him on the stand. He had no ability to defend himself.
All right. Okay, go ahead, Black America. You want to go now?
All right, so I'm gonna kind of take this point by point. Shadow, I don't know about you, right? But being not such a nice person, right? His father is in prison. If when I came out of prison, I didn't change my life, I fear all of my boys would have been in prison. I pushed them all to the military. Okay? I got 16 kids. Okay? I pushed all my boys to go to prison or college. Okay? What you don't understand is what the fathers do, the boys do. The boy's stepfather is a schmuck. I agree with you 100%, Shadow, that the defense did not try to do their job to the utmost of their ability. I agree with you 100%. But all of the shit in the background from this young man is turmoil. It's turmoil. And you can't tell me any different. I come from one of the worst places in LA, one of the worst families. And what the fathers do and the uncles do, the sons follow in their footsteps. It's just part of what happens, bro. And like I said, I understand you wanting to have a heart for this young man, and I have a heart for him too, because 35 years and even the 17 years is a very, very long time. And I feel so sad for him, but I also feel sad for the father who lost his child, bro. I only seen my father cry twice. I seen him cry when my brother got killed, right? 10 days after his 21st birthday. Once again, I'm from LA. And in the 80s and 90s, that's what we was doing, was killing people, right? It was just part of the program. And when his appendix burst, I'm telling you, bro, you guys don't understand, but I'm gonna jump off. I'm gonna still be watching. You guys are having a great conversation though. So yeah, man, I'm still be watching.
Hey,
all right, for sure, man.
Take it easy. Let me hit the super chat before we go ahead. Hey, what's going on, man? Well, all right. So let me go ahead and hit this real quick. Hey, Dan Silent, he was already suspended. This is what I heard too. And he was barred from attending the school event. He wasn't supposed to be on the property, let alone in another person and another school's tent. So now I saw this on Google. I Googled it, AI. Does that mean it was 100% accurate? I don't know, but this is what I saw as well. So thanks for the $5. And one more here, $1.99. I guess Wasp's take, the guy is white, disregard entirely. Okay. Hey man, what's going on, William Playboy? We're going around robin, but who wants to go next? Rogish, or you want to go next? What?
Salute to all of y'all. Hey, I'm gonna be glad.
You let William go. William ain't saying nothing.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you want to go ahead and say how long?
Arpain, check your cell phone, Arpain.
Okay. How much have you seen, man? What you think about this situation? We're talking about the lawyer right now. We're gonna let William go. Go ahead, William. Say real quick, and then you guys can chime in.
I feel as though it was bad representation.
No doubt.
Not only that, the fact that the trial was the quickest, biggest trial in history, and then y'all convicted him really quick. They were quick to give him 35 years. We know he did something wrong. We know that. But assault is assault. I've been saying this on our platform as well. Teach your kids to keep their hands to themselves.
Oh man, look at this, man. I hear you.
Because you can hit me, you can do whatever. You can't decide what I'm gonna do with them, even if it's wrong. A rebuttal. Hey, you hit me, you assaulted me. But still, he's in Texas. We all know Texas. We know the South. Everywhere in the South, you're black, they're white. That's rough.
People act like they don't know that though. People act like they really forgot.
You know, that's because they want to be illiterate with that.
That's
because
sad.
if you watch movies all the time, you watch movies, you watch all of this stuff go down, and still now it's here. We had teenagers. We can't say, oh, it's just teenagers. That's why we need to be monitoring them. I have two issues. Monitoring them. Somebody should have been an adult and been there. For one, they're teenagers. Oh, I don't care about 17 years. I had a baby at 16, so I know that, right? Should have been watched more. And then you want to say, oh, well, no, you're not supposed to put your hands on nobody.
You can't tell nobody like that. The motherfuckers are saying everything.
Don't hit. What we tell the babies, the toddlers, don't hit.
All right. So wait a minute,
hold up. So as a culture, do you think that's what they teach their people? Not to hit? Are we really gonna lie to ourselves and say that shit?
Rogus, you're up next anyway, so we're gonna give you the floor based on what we saw.
Well, so, I mean, what old dude said, I think he put the nail in the coffin. You know what I'm saying? That Peckerwood had the most biased of tones. He called him a devil and all this shit. You don't never hear them say that of their own. Look, I would still want the very same light result if the racial roles were reversed. You know what I'm saying? And that was one of the Metcalfs under there.
Hold on for a second, William. Hold on for a second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Rogus, do you think he should have been on a stand? Do you think he should have been on a stand in his own defense?
Yeah, definitely.
And so, okay. So that's another failing that the lawyer had, right? He should have told him to get up there and take his chances.
Well, I'm not in law. I don't know what kind of, you know what I'm saying, scheme that they had or plan that they had or whatever. But the thing is here in Texas, it's like homie said, it's a total different ball game than anywhere else in the South. These Peckerwoods here are the rickets of the Rick. Y'all think that they're just like any other white person. They not. All right, they own this shit out here. They really rock it with the subtle whiteness. It's not the overt and all that. Nah, not out here. They try to be sly with it, right? So it's largely in middle class, upper class, and you go up any higher. This is culture here. The thing is, homie is from Louisiana. Niggas in Louisiana, they don't really take too much shit, you know what I'm saying, from pilgrims out there, right? People don't want to take that into consideration. All right. You tested someone who ain't from here. He don't rock like the black people here, but because they so accustomed to getting their motherfucking way, oh, all right, well, yeah, whatever. And you get what you get. You don't get to decide what the fuck you get. You get what you get.
All right. Well, I hear you. Hey, Scam, what's your thought about the white guy, man? What do you say? Do you think he should have took the stand? And what do you think about what the white guy said?
When you're in a court of law, do what you got to do to win. They lost. But me personally, I'm not going to come up with 15 layers of blackity white skin and go do you a synopsis of 800 years ago. And I'm also not going to make up all kind of ridiculous extra laws that don't exist about stand your ground. And if he smells you wrong, that needs to stop. I'm just saying. There's the stuff that we know that happened. We know it because it happened. Those are the things that should be more, in my opinion, should be more in discussion versus what his uncle's Facebook page said 6 months ago. And if the attorney dug up what he did 4 years ago on his Facebook, argument, disagreement, territory, fight, cut, death. Should it be first degree? No. Should it be second degree? 50-50. Third degree, minimal charges. That's the more important stuff. But just because he was white, his skin started mysteriously bubbling. Like, come on, just throwing anything out there. But my last point is this. Seeing what we see now, especially when people complain and say, this is the way it always been. If there's 17, 18, 22-year-olds, 14-year-olds watching, why would you advocate for more people to go do more fighting when this is where they're going to end up? Then they go to jail and they got to do more fighting.
But who's actually doing that? But hold up, Scam.
What is the best decision
can I
possible?
ask Scam one thing?
Go ahead.
This is the one thing. Nobody's asking for it, but they're up in arms because you getting what you give. You can't be a bully at school. I know y'all see the videos and everything. They be slapping their teachers. They wild. Teenagers are out of control, right?
Right. And the parent, right. But somebody asked, where did they learn this from? And they're getting beat at home.
Like this is
the
not
parents is doing the same thing.
But Scam, you can't act like it's not racial because it was a black boy. I don't care.
If you want it to be racial, then it's racial.
Let them finish. Go ahead, Scam.
But it is racial. I don't know why people want to fake and act like it wasn't racial. It's racial.
Because they got something to protect. They got something about the American dream they need to protect.
Hey, Frank, you're up next.
However racial, here's my thing. However racial y'all want it to be, fine. Race it up.
What I'm
How
saying
does that help anything?
If his peers was really
call it
there,
what it is.
you would have had black people on the jury. They're part of his birds.
Yeah, we went through that though.
I thought the charges were murder, not race hate crime. Was he charged
lucky
with
he
racial?
didn't get a hate crime.
Then why are we just throwing just anytime?
That was there on course. It wasn't a hate crime.
If it's in Texas,
you know why there was no blacks on the jury. We had a whole segment on that. But before we go on, Frank, man, welcome to the show, man. What you got, man? How much?
Hey, can I close out my I'll be quick.
Go ahead.
When things don't go the way you want them to go in the court, which you should be doing everything to stay out of there. That's even if you're white. Let's be real. There's white people in prison. Is it disproportionate? Yes. Towards black. So stay the hell out of there. But stop reaching in your back pocket and throwing race out there when convenient. Don't Texas. Don't stand your ground and throw fear for my life. It doesn't work.
Always first, Kim. That's not always fair. Now, I agree with you. We know the worst of the worst, but that's not always fair what you're saying right now.
They don't live in America no more.
Did it work?
Who the fuck you ever thought you see black people here?
But it wasn't even Karmelo's first option. He actually tried to warn him.
It doesn't work.
But it does. Here's the thing, y'all arguing against the law.
Hey, Scam, it was one more thing, and here we are again going round robin. Frank, what's up, man?
What's good, man? So
welcome to the chat.
Yeah, man. You know what's good. What's up, BMU, man? I know you in the back somewhere.
Yeah, always lurking.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I
pause.
Damn. Hey, no, but So I just did a reaction to the lead attorney's video that he done like 11 months ago.
Yeah, we showed that. We showed that. Go ahead.
Yeah, he just talked, just pretty much just talked about all the mistakes that they made as far as like, not humanizing and doing all that, not showing any type of humanity and remorse. But what I will say is like, it's just so many different conflicting stories coming out and views coming out. There's people saying that they seen like a video that was in 4K outside of the video that they showed in the courtroom that was grainy. They're saying that four boys walked up on Karmelo and a fight broke out basically. So everybody is starting to say now, a lot of people who have seen the video, the clear video, are saying that he was starting to get jumped. And yeah, he had a little, a little tool in his, in his bag. And and I think one thing that a lot of people are leaving out too is they're saying that all of a sudden he just said like, touch me and see what happens. But the transcript actually shows that when Austin came up, he said something along the lines of, like, I'll beat your ass, you little bitch. And then he said, touch me and see what happens. So you're gonna.
Can I ask you a question? No, Frank, wait on this. Wait, hold on, Will. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you this question. Do you believe in this 4K tape? Where is this fucking tape? Did you see it?
They said that. So what happened? Everybody is saying that so many people started to request to see the video that after I think this one lady went in there, she tried to record it. So she could, I don't know if she was gonna release it to the public, and then they said that they just stopped people from being able to request it with like a FOIA request now.
Did they show that in the trial?
They said they showed the grainy one. They said no, hold up. They said they showed
no question.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm saying they said they showed the grainy one. They didn't show the one that was in 4K for some reason. They said they wouldn't let them see that.
They've been hiding this. This is the whole thing. That's why there's gonna be more stuff coming. Y'all seen what the daddy did? Like, come on now.
He turned all the way up. He turned all the way up. And y'all want to act like he didn't say
I'm sorry. I'm on mute.
We digress into all of that shit with the daddy.
No, Arpain, real quick, man. Keep in mind, Arpain, people talk about this boy parents like they trash. This boy's parents, before the trial, before the murder, before anything, before GoFundMe, this motherfucker standing in a $600,000 house in the heart of Frisco, Texas, surrounded by white people that don't want them there. Let's just start there.
And and BMU, and now they're
these
saying
motherfuckers got plenty of them. They was living a really good life.
And I seen that video said that, that he was like a truck. So you're telling me that a kid who is averaging 3.7 GPA is a troublemaker and just always in trouble and doing all of this? Like that just
he's just being. Hey, I'm gonna tell you something, bro. Like
no, hold on, bro. Hold on.
I'm just trying to tell you because
hold on, let him finish.
I'll let you land, but
you let the man
do that for real. Like for real. Y'all so young, but y'all long-winded as hell.
I barely even seen anything. I literally just started.
Because I'm gonna tell you what it is.
I just started.
Let him land.
I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's gonna be less than a minute or whatever.
Okay, that's you. That's you. Let him do him, cuz for real.
I know.
Go ahead. Finish. Go ahead.
I don't want peace. I want problems always.
Right.
And I mean, and I don't know. Like, a lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, why was he under the 10? Why was he under the 10?" My daughter runs track. You know these kids. Like you see these kids every Friday, sometimes Wednesday, sometimes Saturday. You know these kids, so you might be from another school and end up going to go talk to coaches in another.
Something happened to your mic, Frank. I don't know. Something went wrong.
It sounds like it's coming out your computer, not your microphone.
Yeah.
Can you still hear me?
Now better. Go ahead.
All right, you good?
All right. Yeah, it might have switched over. I think because I switched to the internet late, to the hardwire late. But My daughter runs track. You see these kids all the time, every week. These kids from different schools get to know each other, so they're always under each other. It's not like a tent, it's a canopy. And it was raining out there, so they all end up going under each other's canopy.
Do you think he should have walked? Do you think he should have walked, Frank?
I'm just saying that some schools don't even have canopies.
No, let's go ahead. But do you think he should have walked
in the rain?
Should have walked in the rain?
No, should he have left? Should he got off? Should he been acquitted?
I'm saying. Oh no, I don't think he. No. That's not what I think. I think that he should have got manslaughter, and okay. I also think, if you watch the lead attorney video,
we played it here today.
Yeah, and he showed how different those cases. All those dudes got like 10 years. For and another kid in almost the same situation, a white kid down there stabbed somebody multiple times in a bathroom and only got 10 years.
Right.
You can't compare those. Come on, look, you can't compare.
I'm saying it was the same type of situation.
No,
I'm saying.
They don't care if it's the same situation. They ain't never cared if it's the same situation. The thing is, look, this law that everybody wishes to adhere to is permitted to be fluid when they want it to be fluid, and then solid when they want it to be solid, right? And we just gotta fluctuate with it, unfortunately.
All right, okay, so listen, I have Frank, he asked you what state you live in. Yeah, you want to tell him or not?
Yeah, I live in Colorado, but I'm from
so y'all have Kansas City.
But I'm from Kansas City. Right. But I'm from Kansas City, Missouri, though.
Okay. So the whole thing is, right? We know it's raining and shit. A kid don't want to get wet. You might have regardless of anything, he got violated because somebody didn't like him. It wasn't nothing other than that. We know it's black and white. We seen the father. We know what they've been told.
Yeah, but we, you know what? I'm purposely not going to what his father said.
Well, we're not gonna go too far with him. But what I'm saying is,
we went through our whole community, but we can't go through his old mark ass daddy.
Yeah, well, you have a fucking show, and you could go through
go ahead.
You want.
Respect
you know what I'm saying? I don't want to
we went through our whole community.
Can I say this?
It's our community. Before, let me read this super chat before. Now, this is the dispute. So this guy, thanks for the $10 super chat to the channel Shadow the Titan Wasp. He says Karmelo was not suspended, from the school. Now, okay, so that's what you said. I thought that was true too until I saw something otherwise. I know he was charged with murder. We all know the whole case, so I'm not going to read the rest of it, but thanks for the $10. But the point I'm trying to say is it's mixed messages as to whether he was suspended before he went in that tent from football and track for brandishing a knife previously. Now, some people say that's a lie. Right. AI, Google says it's true. I don't know.
Well, both of them was apparently because wasn't Austin suspended as well? He was unruly.
I didn't ask that question, but some people say he was. I don't know. He was. So there you go. So I have a last thing for all of you guys because we've been up here talking. Now this is the last level. Austin, what's his responsibility, and did he fail himself in this situation?
For sure.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Sure.
I'll go first. He failed himself. Himself.
Who is he?
Austin. He failed himself.
No, I meant not Austin. The brother, the fucking
Hunter.
Karmelo.
Oh, Karmelo.
Sorry, I said Austin. If I said Austin, I mean Karmelo.
Oh, I'm sorry. Karmelo. I don't think Karmelo failed himself. I think Karmelo was in a situation, and I think that any child, even my children, right? I think if it was pouring down raining, my son would have ran under the tent or whatever. It is not a child's responsibility to police another child. It is the responsibility of the coach or the adult there that has authority over the children. So me personally, remember I told you earlier, when we grew up, they said if my father and my grandfather told me if somebody come up in your personal space, you knock them the fuck out. Or if it's multiple people, pick up something and try to knock their fucking head off. That's what I was taught growing up.
Or whip out your knife and stab him in the chest.
Or that's what I'm saying. Say pick up something. So anything. So our pain. If I'm sitting there and that kid come up on me, and I see his brother come up on me, and they're larger than I am, and I see a goddamn ice pick on the table, I'm gonna go to work. But you know why? Because I'm not gonna have two people jumping me. And I'm gonna tell you another thing. Everybody else on this fuck shit, I'm gonna tell the truth. If my son and his brother was at a track meet and a motherfucker hit my son, hit one of my sons, my other son definitely gonna jump in that shit.
Well, definitely, I agree with that. I agree with that. Yeah,
we gotta stop the shit. So if he hit Karmelo, if Karmelo would have popped him in his fucking mouth,
his brother would have jumped in.
Brother would have jumped in it and hit him too. And now you got two big 200-pound linebackers on your motherfucking ass beating your head in. He turned around, and that's a threat to your life right there. He turned around and hit him in the chest. Everybody acting like this goddamn boy was a Navy SEAL, like he knew for a fact that this boy was gonna die. He knew where to stab him at. He knew when he got up that morning, he scratched in yawn and say, "Oh, I'm gonna go kill me a 6'1", 225-pound white boy today." He didn't know what was gonna happen.
So again, you're saying his lawyers failed him.
His lawyers failed him completely, and I think the lawyers should be investigated because we all know, if you from Texas, we all know Frisco is some fuck shit. Everybody know Frisco on some fuck shit.
Everybody know that. He's lucky he didn't get the death penalty.
So who's next?
I'm about to say, let me go.
Hold on, I'm gonna say this in closing. Karmelo, I'm gonna say this in closing. Karmelo did not have the complexion for the protection.
That's what it was. And guess what?
Hey, William, you on the clock, William. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna piggyback off of that. Tell your kids this is what we trained them to do. We raised them when they toddlers. Be courteous. Be nice. Keep your hands to yourself. That's it. Keep your hands to yourself. Because, you can pop me. That don't mean I ain't going to hit you with my fist. Keep your hands to yourself. And we need to do one thing. Stop letting these fucking white kids be bullies.
I hear you. Scam, you go ahead. You go ahead, Scam. Go ahead. Hey, Rogus, you can go after that.
I don't get how a losing situation, there's some advocation for more kids to go and do the same stupid shit. I'm not buying it. And then you can keep throwing race in there and it's supposed to somehow make it right. When is it going to be where you can teach something a little bit better so we can have better outcomes? Or we're just going to keep saying white, 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 Texas, Texas, get them, cut them, shoot them, and then start whining when somebody ends up in jail and they got to fight white COs and Hispanic inmates and whatever. Like there's some kind of solution. What is the best decision possible? This ain't it. So why are you gonna keep pushing it? If they white, cut them. If they looked at you wrong, get them. White, Texas, court.
That's dumb.
It didn't work.
Protect him.
Is he protected now? No.
No, because you
I'm
out of all the other people that you could bring up who we could get into some conflict with, it's always white. We talking anybody and any situation.
We already got to worry about ourselves.
Have you ever been jumped?
Protecting
these people.
people.
We got to worry about ourselves. But
have you ever been jumped?
Yes.
We always got to worry about ourselves.
Oh, okay.
Our people. But we have to worry about everybody else.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to tell you something, William. I'm going to say this real quick. Bro, I remember when I was probably 16-ish, 17. Yeah, I was playing football, no pads, knocking each other the fuck out, right? I hit one of the boys in front of his house. We played in front of his house. They had a big-ass yard in the country. I hit him. He went down. He didn't move for a while. He got up. He want to fight. Me and him fighting. Guess what his sister did? I wish I was in a place where I could turn his camera on and turn around and show you. His sister came out the house and stabbed me in my back with a pair of scissors because I was my brother's ass. I still got the mark on my back right now. The scissors were stuck in my fucking back. Because I was whooping her brother's ass. This is what I'm saying. And I said this the other night, and I hope this shit catch on. Hashtag this shit. White men are, I'm telling y'all, I make these gun shows. I'm telling you, I'm a gun aficionado. I love guns, ammo, and all this shit. I'm at these places. I'm seeing these men buy their 12-year-old, 13-year-old sons knives and gun and hunting knives, how to cut the deer up and shit. Them motherfuckers are learning how to go to war. Them white men are teaching their sons how to kill. We're teaching our sons how to bow down.
That's not true.
It is, because what y'all said. I've been hearing niggas say for the last 5 days, walk away. So okay, earlier today, R-Pain, I got to get that video to you because I've been busy. It's a video of a black boy walked away from a white boy, got hit. The white boy ran up behind him and sucker punched him in the jaw. The white boy hit him. He turned around and beat the dog shit out this white boy, stomped his fucking head in the ground. And now they're trying to charge the black boy with attempted murder. We got to stop.
It ain't about race. It ain't about race. Race doesn't mean anything. Race doesn't mean anything. You're being a victim about race.
I said this even today. I said this even today on our show.
Got the solution.
Guess what? You got to be attentive. Oh, you can walk away, but you never
be no motherfucking sycophant.
I
tell you that much.
Ever.
Y'all should be tired of that shit.
Hey, William, my grandfather said you never. My grandfather taught me that, William. My grandfather said you never turn your back on the enemy, ever.
Yes.
Hey, Black Man, I had a question.
You can see them.
Black Man, I had a question.
Your goofy ass do something, then I get to whoop your ass.
Are you aware that in a fight, 1-on-1 or whatever it is, that both people have the opportunity to lose, right? You can lose.
If it's a fight, guess what? You can't stop somebody.
No, I'm asking Black Man.
Fight you though.
Can you lose?
That's what you're not understanding. He got his head. He got assaulted. What do you
this is a question for
do?
Black Man because it was his example. Okay, Black Man, you aware that you can lose? Let's be real. You and William Playboy get into it. You tackle him. You stepped on his shoe, whatever it was, and y'all throwing hands. You didn't know that William got these monstrous hands. Pop, 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 pop.
Yep.
And your wife stab him in the back or bust him in the head with a frying pan.
Hey, we fighting. Guess what? That's what you're supposed to do.
Aren't you gonna take her to dinner and buy her a juicy steak?
Well, hold up. See, if you're going biblical, she's not supposed
Who are we
to
talking about? Now, I'm not just.
She's
going to get the Dylan
he has an emotional attachment.
I'm not justifying the person who stabbed you in the back, but a fight is a fight, and we don't get to choose how it goes and put these rules.
Yeah, and that's what was going on. Guess what? A boy get into it with the first twin brother, and then got into it with the second one. What do you have on your mind? Oh, they're gonna jump me.
Well, the question is, do you make the best decision possible? If you believe the yes, then it's what it is.
Hold on, Scam. Hey, R-Pain, I just sent you a nice little video to your phone. You go ahead and check that out. And when you see it on the phone, I can't play that in public.
Y'all got it.
But I have.
I can't play that in public because I'll probably go to jail. But that man right there, you look at that video I just sent you. That's what happened when you fucking play around with me and find out. Right there. Look at that video I just sent you. Do you see that motherfucker on the ground right there with his whole head bleeding? And he asking me, why are you doing this to me? When the white boy played with me, I just sent you a video. I got receipts. I will plant a motherfucker like a tree by the water. I am not playing with these niggas.
Yeah.
I'm not playing with these niggas. Look at that video I just sent you. I would play it, but I don't want nobody to find it. I got to go to court. But motherfucker gonna find out and stop fucking playing with me.
Yeah,
I love you, bro. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I don't fight on the streets no more because I know I could get in more trouble than I used to.
Yes,
especially since I used to box, so I can't.
But you grown. I used to.
I mean, but
I used to do a lot of shit.
I got
bro, can I just finish my damn statement?
Because your ass you gonna be long winded.
You've been talking this whole time.
Go ahead, Frank.
And you should be ashamed of yourself, not.
Go ahead, Frank.
Yeah, but back in the day, of course, that was the thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Being raised in the hood and shit like that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, this whole situation is just wild. I feel like people are just going like either to the extreme on one side or to the extreme on the other side. Like, you're not supposed to protect yourself, or if you're about to get jumped, like, you're not gonna grab something, you're just gonna take the ass beating. That's just not realistic. they're making it seem like he had a knife that like Arnold Schwarzenegger or some shit like that. Like he had a knife that you wouldn't even expect to even hurt
It was
nobody.
a tool for runners.
Right,
It was.
a tool.
It
Right.
killed
I'm
somebody,
saying, like,
bro.
I know that. I just
killed
said that. That's
bro.
not what I said. I said people are acting like he had a Rambo style knife. He had a knife for like he had like a track tool and he stuck him with it. Like
he killed him. What are we talking about?
Look, you need it. Okay, look,
not
you
understanding what I'm saying, bro.
He don't want to understand what you're saying.
He was being a dumb teenager.
There was a dead body laying on the pavement.
You're being obtuse. You're being obtuse, man.
But Scam is kind of right. Hold on for a second. Wait a minute, William. Scam is just trying to tell Frank, it don't matter what instrument he had in his hand. A guy is dead. So they're going to treat him.
Okay, nobody said that he was supposed to get off. Nobody said that he was supposed to get off. So what? So what is he protecting?
A machete or a little knife like that. The result is the same.
What you taking the flower power? Hold up, you taking a flower power stance with this shit? Nobody should have died. We're all human beings. All we gotta do is love one another.
Is that what it is? I want to ask this. Now, as a teenager, did you do something dumb with a weapon? Just anything that's stupid that you could actually cause?
No, I didn't.
It could be a weapon.
William, I said it the other day when we was having this conversation. I asked everybody, have you ever been somehow, some form of either one of the Metcalfs bullying and instigating and talking or being Karmelo? Most of us have done stupid stuff when we were young.
You was a teenager.
Yes, I done stupid stuff.
So did you have a weapon? Did you play with fire? Did you do anything as a teenager that was stupid?
Yes. All of us did.
What was one of the stupid things?
It was so dumb. I won't even say. I'll tell you.
So did you have a box cutter? Did you see one? Y'all know we used to have them. Hold up, Scam. You're older than me.
It was.
So
I'm younger than you.
Have the big knives where you could push the button and that blade was that long. Did you ever see one of those?
You're talking about a switchblade?
A switchblade. They're legal in Florida.
We always used to do that shit.
Yeah, legal. Period.
No, wait, William. I brought up the thing about people being young and stupid. Or 17. At the end of the day, this was because people getting all the extra territory stuff. Just like in the cafeteria, you sitting in my seat. Or even in college, this fraternity ain't supposed to be in this section and they fight. People do dumb shit.
What I'm saying is, even and look, they in their 20s, but they still doing stupid shit, right?
Yeah. Look at the people on the panel. They want to fly out and cut each other over.
Okay, wait, hold up. Let me tell all y'all this. They exchange words first and foremost. They exchange words before they exchange any blows. There were words. If everybody's going to have any accountability, then all of them should have had an accountability to their words. Austin, Anthony was not the first one.
It was. What was it? Trevor?
Your mic went out.
He was the first aggressive. And then it was his bigger brother.
Exactly.
No, I'm not justifying them dudes. It's some ignorant whatever. Get out my seat. Get out my section. What you looking at?
Scam, I got a question.
Bunch of junk. And it ended up. Go ahead.
I got a Scam. If the police pull you over and they feel like you have a weapon, or the police pull you over and you come being aggressive toward the police, what did the police say to you?
What did they say?
Yeah.
I don't know.
If you get aggressive toward the police, they're going to say, freeze, put your hands up. Sir, don't reach for nothing. Sir, they're going to give you fair warning before they shoot your ass. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Karmelo said, touch me again and find out. The white boy said, that white boy probably looked at his brother and said, who the fuck this nigga think he is? And he pushed him again. He said, oh, okay then. And he Raphael'd his ass.
Yeah, black man, you can't do that. You can say it how you want. And I'm not justifying them putting their hands on them and none of that. You can't do that.
They do it.
Like I said,
what do you mean you can't do that? That is not the first time that that's happened.
Keep their hands to themselves.
Yeah, that part is true, William. Hey, listen, another super chat here. Insum the Great. What part of LA was that soft MF from? That's my man on left. That was Black America, I believe.
Yep. We talking about that.
I ain't never heard of MF from LA talking so soft, talking that. Listen, I don't know, man. Hey, man, he did some time, man. So I don't know how soft he is.
You can't make up your own laws.
I don't know if
You can't do
anybody
that.
answered. I don't know if anybody.
The ones
answered.
we got don't even work half the time.
I want to answer William's question. He said, if anybody done anything stupid? When I was 16, 17, yes, I did a lot of stupid shit. But one of the things I did that scared my mama was that I went to school, dude plucking me behind the ear in class. I say, hey, man, stop tripping around. Like, don't pluck me behind my motherfucking ear. Leave me alone.
Pluck you. Pluck.
I'd be plucking me behind the ear. Pluck. I said, all right. Then he want to throw pencils and shit. I said, all right, here we go. That niggas playing. So I get up, turn my test in. He threw something hard as fuck, hit me in the back of the head with it, right? So when he went to turn his test in, I just waited on him at the desk. And I just grabbed him in the headlock and got the staple and just started stapling his fucking forehead. Just stapling
being mute.
Bro, if my mama was on the phone right now, my mama would tell you, please do not play with that boy. He's crazy. I'm serious. I did this whole game. Never. It was a white boy. It was a white boy. And I'm thinking to myself, I heard all the stories from my grandma, my granddad. It triggered something in me. I'm not gonna let no white boy put no hands on me or do nothing crazy to me.
So if he's black, he gets grace.
Oh no, sir. I don't want a lot of black ass.
I'm gonna tell you something. Damn. This is what I've taught my kids and my grandkids, right? I teach them you can be courteous to everybody. Absolutely. That doesn't mean they raised that way. So you just do it out of the kindness of your heart. Don't expect it. You hope they do, because a lot of people gonna let you down. Like, hey, the baby girl, she told me, well, they doing it. I said, you didn't do it for that reason. You did it because you're trying to be a good person. You're being courteous. They didn't get it. And even if they did, that's who they are. So you can't expect that. But the one thing you can expect from, don't put your hands on nobody.
Well, here we go. Here you go.
You tell me, Scam. Hold on, Scam.
There's another
the way you sounded, guess what, Scam? The way you sounded, that sounds like a white man can smack you in your face. You ain't gonna do shit.
Man,
I never said that. That's just junk y'all threw out there.
I'm just saying. Hey, I'm just saying.
Okay, another super chat over here, right? It's something great. See, here's another one. This goes together what you guys are talking about, right? Karmelo Anthony got assaulted and stabbed his attacker. What the fuck are you talking about? The devil got us tripping.
Got y'all tripping.
Preach.
You got a lot of people tripping. Okay, one more. Let me get this one out too. Again, thank you for the $15, man. 555. All right, what's going on, Coach? Okay, what's this? Nika, what's better than keep your hands to yourself? Run and hide? Okay, so you're supposed to say the N-word, keep your hands to yourself. Is that better than run and hide? The school teach the kids to fight school shooters. That's what they do. Run, hide, and fight. So there you go. So what's up, Coach? Where you at? Excuse me. What's going on, Coach? What's happening, man?
What's up, Papa? How you doing?
Man, what's the rest of your body? I mean, you got like a head in the middle of everything.
Man, I'm just letting all y'all Slowpoke University has.
So, Coach, what you got on this situation, man? We already near the end of this. Is Karmelo responsible for anything that happened to him? Yes or no? Is he at fault for his predicament?
In that moment, yes. But again, it goes to show a lot of people not really connected to the school system at all. A lot of people don't go into the schools. A lot of people don't read the student code of conduct. And his parents failed him. I think his parents failed him, right? Because again, if you're giving them a weapon, then you got to explain the consequences of using that weapon.
It was a track tool.
Well, they've been showing that it's like a knife, a fisher's knife.
But we're in Texas, right? Everybody got knives and guns.
But again,
everybody got a knife on. But now when you hear these Peckerwoods, oh my God, he had a knife. Lock them up like y'all don't have knives and shit. You know what I'm saying?
We fight in Shawnee Park. What we talking about?
They be moving the goalpost.
We going home
all the time.
Especially some white boys bust their nose. Man, I couldn't wait for a white boy to get out of pocket. What did we talk about? I'm gonna beat him up.
Hey, I think right now, okay, then right now, if right now, coach, if two 6'1", I'm asking coach this: if 2'6'1", 225, 235-pound boys walk up on you right now, Coach Ferg, you may have problems.
You know what I can do?
You may have problems.
But you know what I can do?
Only if they're white.
But you know what I can do?
No, them niggas, they kill them. Them niggas gonna kill them.
Only if they're white. Why you keep throwing them motherfuckers in like that?
Let them answer. Is that what y'all want?
Anybody, you stupid motherfucker. Bootlicking ass nigga. Now you here to protect these motherfuckers for some reason. We talking anybody. Anybody. Your people don't teach you to put the act right on just white people if they teach you to put the act right on anybody, man.
No, you got that. You got it.
Super cool ass nigga.
You know, we in Louisville, Kentucky, right? That's the Kentucky Derby. We got a biggest tournament.
So you gonna fight both of them?
Yes.
Your mic is kind of low.
No, just fight the lighter one.
See, that's the problem.
Let the other one get away.
BMU, you understand a defensive back is taking on 6'6", 6'7", 350-pound lineman every day. I'm going to step back. I'm going to throw these 1-2s, and then I'm going to take off running, and then I'm going to see Playboy William. Hey, man, these white boys are trying to jump me, and he going to stand with me. I don't understand it. He got other kids there. Why was the
kid take that ass with?
Exactly. You know what? That's nothing more exhilarating when I was coming up.
City though. Muhammad Ali, Louisville, Kentucky.
But you know what though? You know what I be want to tell people, and salute to everybody that served us in our military. I want to be telling all men that served in the military, hey, listen, why did we have to go to Afghanistan? Why we just go over there and shake hands and with them motherfucking saying niggas and say, hey, listen, hey, we good. We don't want to fight y'all. We don't want to kill y'all. We want to walk away. Matter of fact, let's put the guns down and y'all get y'all best Afghan fighter and we'll get our best American fighter and we'll just fight it out. No, you niggas was over there shooting and poking them niggas to death.
Why didn't the gangs that shot each other, young black bears, even go over and shake each other's hands? Why? I mean, what were we talking about?
But I'm saying, what's the difference? Hold on.
Because they're only murder butlers on that side of the world.
My question is, what's the difference between men in the military signing up to kill and stab a motherfucker versus a nigga on the street shooting and stabbing a motherfucker? Y'all just got the license to do the shit?
No, because you're told it's something that's honorable in the ranks when you realize that you're over there with some gangster shit. Ain't no honor in them ranks whatsoever.
So if somebody come into your house, y'all just go sit there and watch them.
Who? No, not Coach Ferg. I'm all about the violence. You come up in my house, you come up in this motherfucker, I'm gonna lay you down.
So if it's all about my thing is this, right? And that's why a lot of people, they don't really go to the school. The first thing they're gonna think about is the socio-emotional mindset of the students first. The first thing they did on that Monday morning, they had a prayer visual. They had counselors available for every kid in that school and kids in surrounding schools. So they're going to play that mindset. Even the black kids. No, we got to think about it. And they're not going to put those kids through that trauma. And this is why I say, as a father, as a parent, BMU, you live in Texas. Tell me what racist neighborhood you moving your family into.
I will move into any neighborhood I want to, and anybody got anything to say about it, we talk about it.
Well, but then if your kids go outside and do something to commit a crime, which they're going to deem, they're not going to say it was self-defense based off that racist community, then I wouldn't put my family in that situation.
But that's acknowledgement that their culture is even there. They won't even acknowledge that the shit is racist.
You're right. I love the fact. I love the fact that
anything about racism. Never.
But guess what, Coach Ferg? When my kids were old enough to walk, I had them in gloves.
You prove my point.
Well put.
I had them in gloves. I told my kids fight. I told my kids to fight. I taught them the same thing my father and his father before him taught him.
You prove my point.
Fight. But if a motherfucker like they're gonna jump you, do not take brain damage or getting your teeth kicked out your mouth. You do whatever it takes to get them out of your space. So if you gotta pick up a goddamn metal cleat You got to pick up a fucking pitchfork. Whatever you got to do to get them off of you, get them off of you. But don't take no 3-4 motherfucker beating your head in the ground. That's stupid. I don't know who's saying, even me, if 4 niggas run up on me, I'm going to show their asses. Bow, bow, bing, bing, bow. I'm not going to fight 4 niggas and get my head knocked off and kicked in the ground and have me brain dead. You got me fucked up.
Hold on. So you don't have a weapon. What do? Do you stay there and prove yourself tough, or you get your ass and get up through so you can regroup and then you come back with what you need? I mean,
well, no, it's not. If you don't have a weapon, put the weapon there. Everybody want to make this shit subjectively what the fuck they would do. What the fuck happened is what happened. Okay, the fact that they aggressed him, both of them aggressed him, and he responded. Nobody's saying he should have got off. Right? Nobody's saying he should have killed him. That's why we say negligent, inadvertent manslaughter or some shit, or involuntary manslaughter or something like that. Nobody's saying he shouldn't have got off, but everybody want to give these motherfuckers some pass for aggression, for doing the same bullshit that these motherfuckers do culturally. But culturally, what we supposed to do? We supposed to be pacifists until these motherfuckers forever, every fucking generation.
I got a question for all of you guys. You think Austin would have approached a white boy who he didn't know the same way? Yes.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No.
Wait, why not?
No.
Wait, why not?
He wouldn't approach that white. Them twins wouldn't approach that white boy like that. They would have befriended him. They would have said, "Hey, what's up, man?"
No. Wait. Let's say they had beef with him. They can't have beef with another pack of wood. Give them that.
Yeah, y'all act like the only fight that happen are black people, white people bullying. That's the only thing that happens in America.
Hold on. Let me say this though. This is people that live in the North or people that live in the South. A bunch of white folks said. I'm from fucking Louisiana, the dirty fucking South, next door to Mississippi. It's racist. It's still sundown towns where I'm in. It's sundown towns.
They don't fight and kill each other.
Nigga, you crazy? But these white folks down here don't give a fuck. They will pull a gun on your ass and shoot you, kill you in a heartbeat. They don't give a fuck about you. What are you talking about?
No, forget about me. You saying that they don't fight other white people? Or are you saying that, BM?
What I'm saying is, they fight other white people, but the majority of media is black on black crime. It's just the niggers killing each other and white folks going on the same amount.
Let's stop moving the goalposts, because my question is straightforward. You answered already, BMU. You said you don't think Austin and his brother would have told a white boy they didn't know to get out the tent.
Yeah, fuck no.
I don't know if that's true.
My thing is, why wouldn't it? But no, the thing is, what does it matter if he would have told a white boy or not? You know what I'm saying? Do you think white boy? No. It's not about race. What y'all don't like
saying everything about race,
what y'all hate to acknowledge is that white is a power dynamic within the framework of this fucking nation. It ain't just also
hey, Rogish. I'm with Rogish on this one,
if you will.
It
is also a power dynamic. Black ain't no motherfucking power dynamic that none of these peckerwoods here in America got a fucking deal with or contend with in their day-to-day. So there's no balance. There's no if or with that everybody tries to. What if it was black? It's first acknowledge what the culture is here. Acknowledge how these motherfuckers get down. You saw his father, so the sons can't be that far away from it. Are you shitting me?
Okay. What you saying, William?
Mr. Payne, didn't they say when he first got there was no problems until the twins came with his family?
Listen, okay, we've established the sides we're on there. Listen, the guy did what he did, however he felt, and I don't disagree. I just don't think he should have gotten murdered. I think he got bad lawyership, but that wasn't the question I asked, and we keep moving the goalpost.
Okay, ask it again.
The question really is that those two guys, if they were bullies, that they would just be as apt to maybe kick a white boy that they don't know out of their tent as well. Because listen, we a lot of wars have been fight from white people massacring other white people. So to say that they would look at this white boy and say, let's kiss and you're welcome up, they might beat up another white boy. They might. So say that wouldn't happen.
White crime.
Our pain. Pain, I am under the impression that you become what you are around. After I saw that boy, them twin boys' daddy did that video talking about niggas and watermelon and all this. They grew up with that racist motherfucker. So you don't think they got
about it? He wasn't in the home no more.
Get the fuck out of here.
I agree with that. He went off the rails.
Yeah, no influence whatsoever.
Hold up, Art Payne. When it first happened, guess what they was doing? They was talking about the father was he was whipping on the mama.
Right,
so the boys seen that already.
Yeah, he was beating the mama's ass. Yeah.
Culture, right?
That's
Culture.
why they was divorced. If you paid attention, they wasn't together. He was whooping her ass.
So Coach Ferg, Coach Ferg, have you seen the video of his daddy?
Yes, man. He spent 2 hours talking. He's been on a rant for 2 hours after the fact, right? This is after the fact. So again, his ideology has been spread throughout that whole town. It's already spread throughout the whole town. Those kids talk to each other. They go to church together. They do business together. They go into golf together. This is the mindset of the whole town.
I got a question for y'all.
Well, I'm not gonna just hold
Unless you live in Texas.
Because again,
that's the coach.
I was in Killeen, Texas. Y'all niggas don't even know what Killeen stands.
I know a Killeen, where exactly what Killeen is.
And I used to have to go get my registration in Jasper, Texas, where they drugged the black man in a pickup truck.
On the pickup truck, Jasper.
Yeah. That was when y'all was kids.
Pickup truck, ropes.
What I'm saying is, there's no way. I live in Kentucky. I live in the state with the longest feud of white folk in the history of America.
Yep.
Every white person. I went to a school where when I was bused, the white kids and the black kids fought. My thing is this, because we see it in our own community, learn how to fight. And if if anything, you get your licks in and you run to get your buddies or your daddy. But to go all in with an intention of, it's personal when you have to stab somebody. I don't know anybody been stabbed or something. It's personal. You up close.
If it's two motherfuckers against you and you got a knife and they bigger than you,
let your kid learn how to play football.
Had he pushed him
back up off,
he was over.
And he wasn't a fighter.
I split all this right here.
Pushed him.
He wasn't. He also wasn't a fighter.
So Coach Bird, hold on, Coach Bird. Coach Bird, hold on. Let me ask you a question, Coach Bird. Coach Bird, let me ask you a question.
There's a lot of 60-year-olds that are not
Had
fighters.
he pushed him down the steps, since he was pushing him, putting his hand up, had he pushed him down the steps and he broke his neck and he died, would y'all still feel the same damn way?
Yes.
You got murder. It's murder.
Yeah, but the whole thing is, I'm still defending myself.
Still be murder.
It's equal force, though. It's equal force.
I got assaulted, though. Think about this one thing. I got assaulted. Somebody put their hands on me. Hey, y'all all grown men. You mean to tell me y'all gonna let somebody put their hands on you? And you ain't do nothing?
I mean, how come we got to talk about fucking extremes all the time?
Okay, Arpain, no extremes. No extremes, Arpain.
The extreme is that most people, listen, nobody's saying this fucking guy shouldn't defend himself. Nobody said that.
Yeah, he
That's
did
why I'm
it
saying,
wrong.
why are we even talking from that angle?
He know that he stabbed. He shouldn't have stabbed.
What I'm saying is that's why he's going to jail, because maybe he should have fought. Maybe he would have got his ass kicked because there's two guys. Maybe he stabbed him and it was a lucky stab. But actually, let me tell you, this motherfucker stabbed him with this knife. A kill shot. A kill shot. Wait a minute, William. A kill shot on one blow, right?
That's what you do when you're scared.
And hard enough to get through all the bone to kill him. So I'm just saying, he got a good shot off.
That's the strike. That's the strike. That's the strike that you do when you scared. Anybody. Hold up. Wait. Hold up. Anybody with a knife. Anybody with a knife never goes for the heart first. If you know how to work a knife, you're not going to go for the fucking heart first.
You want to go for I'll teach you.
That's if any knower of that. That's what you do when you scared.
I'm scared.
Good, Scan.
You slice it. You got to turn the
Yeah, man. Ask your question, man. Let's go before William keep talking.
I'm sorry, Mr.
It's rather simple, and it's rather simple, and it's time to get petty. Okay, men are leaders, protectors, and providers, and then everybody else is emotional. We already know that.
What's the question, motherfucker?
Oh, somebody muted me.
Sure.
Somebody muted me.
Yeah.
Everybody else. Every white person don't go to work. They don't go to college. All they do is sit and work. They can go in one, especially in Texas. So I'm just curious how this decision is made. You have teenagers, you got kids and everything, where you say, you know what? Let's move to Texas. How much sense that make? Based on what it is that y'all are in Texas and about the close to them as we possibly can. And I'm the protective provider and a reasonable person.
Yeah, look at God. Look at God.
You breaking up, man.
You breaking up bad, Scam. Look at
Yeah,
God.
you breaking up. You breaking up.
God.
Bad.
I didn't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that shit. Look at God.
Yeah,
hey man, when you got listen, bro. When you got that's what I'm saying. Like, and I'm not gonna go to the extremes. I'm gonna go to this, Arpain. Let's say, for instance, Karmelo was to fight back, right? Coach Ferg, the difference between when me and you were in school, we would fight and get over with, and nobody seen it was word of mouth. Now, if Karmelo is sitting there fighting two white boys and they beating his ass, that will be on the internet forever. They're gonna record it, they're gonna upload it, they're gonna bully him through fucking virtual bullying. They're gonna put it there where he got your ass beat, you got fucked up. People, this is what people do now. This is 2026. Everything's on camera. Everything's on camera.
You don't know how to take into consideration the potential social conditioning from the environment that these youth are influenced by, and how much in the decision process that they make. Hey, you can't. Who the fuck is you to try to tell somebody's son? What do you mean? Who are you to dismiss somebody's care?
Niggas ain't showing up for the youth. Y'all ain't nowhere. They in school.
Man,
go talk to them.
hey, bro. One.
Looking for somebody to tell them how to
you're not understanding you're not understanding the world that they're inheriting.
Come on, man.
Y'all still want to bring that old shit to them as if they're going to be receptive to it. They got so many more different influences other than home, other than school. You're not understanding. You're not understanding.
BMU.
After listening to this, I see why they got.
Hold on, y'all. Coach Ferg asking me a question. Hold on. Coach Ferg, go ahead.
Kids are so
fucking
smart.
Yes, man.
They got their cameras on speed dial.
You gotta turn your mic up, Coach.
I'm sorry. Kids got their cameras on speed dial, so it's easy for them to access the camera in an instant. Everything is a instant moment. So in that moment, right? And this is what I keep saying, because beginning, remember, you saw all these camera angles from across the field, from everywhere, because schools have cameras, right? And kids have cameras that are up close. But what they were not going to do is put those students through that social emotional trauma. People dismiss that. They're not going to subjugate a kid. Even if my kid saw it, they're going to have a Monday morning, they're going to say, you can go talk to some counselors and the therapists about your what you saw, the trauma that you saw. It was a traumatizing experiment. That's why they already sort of had it
so what you trying to say, Coach?
What I'm trying to say is that people are overlooking the boundary that
if I'm Karmelo, you think you're trying. Last time you
What's
said
the boundary?
you think his lawyer was trying to protect kids too.
Yes, they all were going to do that.
Bullshit.
Hold on. Arpain. Watch this. I got my son right here on the phone.
No.
Son, can you hear me? Can you hear me, son? Can y'all hear him?
Yeah.
Say hello, son.
Hello.
Can y'all hear?
Yeah, what's going on,
young blood?
Right now, son, when you was in school, watch this, Coach Ferg. When you was in school, son, that day I had to come get you from school, and you was at school, and you had a fight, right?
Yes, sir.
And you beat up. What color was the little boy you beat up?
White.
Oh, okay. So when you fought the little white boy at school, what caused you to snap and beat him, then drag him down the hallway?
Because he called me a nigga.
Oh, okay. Just because he called you a nigga. And why did you beat him up again? Like, could you walk away from it, or was he aggressive, or you had to handle business?
Had to handle business.
Oh, okay.
Over a name?
Oh,
a name.
Coach.
All it is the name. You sound like them. You sound like them Pepperwoods.
Hold on.
Hey, white people listening, I hope y'all happy with how good y'all motherfucking program is.
When I get to the school, Rogish, this is what they say, because they got cameras everywhere. So the lady said, the principal said, hey, listen, if you would like to see what happened, we showing both sets of parents. You could come in and see what happened. I say, cool. She get the video. She bring me in. She show me the video. My son sitting there minding his fucking business, eating his little lunch away. The little white boy passed by bumping. My son didn't say nothing. He come around the other way, and he pointed at my son, laughing or whatever. My son didn't say nothing. And then he came up to my son, nose to nose, to my nigga, hollering in his face. And my son beat his ass and drug him down the motherfucking hallway.
As he's supposed to.
So this is the point that I'm making. At what point do we tell these boys, hold on, because it seems to me like the old niggas are saying, if a dude do that, and he hollering up in your face, calling you a nigga, just let that shit roll down your
Nobody said that.
No, I didn't say that.
Nobody said that.
That's fair game.
So what are y'all saying? Was my son in the right or was he in the wrong?
Yes, that's all. Maybe that's your son was right in defending himself like that, man. The guy was in his personal space. Like
hold up, CMU. I got 7 sons. Oh, now,
God damn, you fucking boy.
This shit. Yeah, I got 7 sons.
Well, you were stroking, wasn't you?
And then one of them decided to go. So he wanted to be a girl. He figured it out, and now he's back being a man. Okay, so let's get this shit together. So there's no confusion, okay? But I have 7 sons. So I've been through this. The one thing I'm always going to teach them is you don't let nobody bully you. If somebody hit your ass, you hit them back. That's always, we all know that. Let's stop acting like we have not been little kids. We have not been.
That's what I'm saying.
Hold up. This is personally for scam, though. Stop doing that bullshit. Now, I
got more bullshit if you want.
Hold up. Now, I
got more.
16
Pleasantville, huh?
granddaughters.
I got some for you, too.
I have 3.
You good.
I have 3
hyper cool
grandsons. And that little nigga's about to be, the youngest one is about to be 1 in August. But the daughters, the grandbabies, and all that, they're girls. Fuck no. I'm not doing that. But my sons, no, can't nobody hit you. I will handle it. I got your back.
Right.
If somebody hits you, you hit their ass back. Right. We know this shit. Because nobody's supposed to do what, y'all? We know we teach these kids to be courteous. That's what the hell you do when you teach them going to kindergarten or preschool, right? Am I lying?
No, it's cool. But listen, that's why we're so far away from we're so far away from the thing, because nobody is saying that we're telling our kids not to defend themselves.
No, we're not teaching them that. We're teaching them they're supposed to. Everybody wants us to do one thing. No, it's okay for you to, hey, you can treat them courteous. They're not going to do that. You keep your steady, but nobody can they can't put their hands on you. You can tell the teacher, hold up, y'all.
Our pain, let them go. They're just going to throw anything out there.
Y'all forgetting one thing. No, scam. You need to stop. There's layers. You tell the teacher.
Stuff we never said.
You tell the teacher. If the teacher, you tell your coach if you have one. You tell your parents. You're supposed to do that anyway. But then after that, what do you have? You don't have no supervision and a public platform that is, for one.
Can we have a caveat of out-of-pocket Peckerwoods? Because it seemed like the what if is getting so fucking expensive and getting such a great. Y'all really want to omit that? Y'all really want to admit that? Y'all want to omit them? Y'all want to omit y'all want to omit them? Y'all want to omit them getting any type of motherfucking correction from us whatsoever, physical. And it just so happens to be symbolic of that old school style of thought of turning cheeks.
Oh no!
And we all, everybody, free the world and all this old bullshit, right?
Hold up, son.
They aren't to be aggressed, but anybody else can be aggressed.
We wrong for old school.
Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Y'all want to be accepted by these motherfuckers as opposed to be respected, and this is why we are in the problem that we are in right now with these people.
Listen to me. Don't listen to scam.
Y'all want to acceptance over respect.
Bogus, what's your point though, Bogus? What's your
The point is that your internal fucking locus is cowardice, and you don't want to fucking behold that. That's what it is. It's fucking cowardice. Y'all been protecting these devils all night. You can go back to the chat and look at how out of pocket they was with the chat. Those of you who was agreeing with them motherfuckers was focused on the ones who wasn't, as opposed to those who were. They show who the fuck they are right there, generation after generation. And all of us got gray hairs in our fucking chin. We did when we was kids, and our parents had the same issue with their fucking great grandparents, and we got that same issue with their kids now. These motherfuckers ain't being racist. They're being themselves. You some fucking cowards if you don't put them in their fucking place when they step out of fucking bounds. Not if, fucking when.
So how do you
fuck you? Hold up. Fuck you devils in the chat. Get your motherfucking genetics right and stay here on Earth.
Hold up. So you saying
one?
I would. My generation
William, man, that's somebody else say something. Go ahead, man.
They unmuted me. I'm sorry, R-Pain.
Yeah, but we gotta let somebody else. I mean, okay, what you gotta say?
Go ahead.
No, what I was saying is we wasn't raised that way.
Hey, Will, let Coach say something. I just want to Coach.
Yeah, I got a question too.
How do teens put other teens in check in this modern day?
They're supposed to fight the same way that we did.
There you go. Fight. Whoop his ass down the bleachers, out to the school parking lot, and take your ass home and deal with the suspension.
And if one of them's not a fighter, one of them never had a fight. Carmelo had never had a fight. Carmelo had never
had a fight.
Wait, hold up. Wait a minute. It's a lot of youth that are growing up never had a fight, cuz for real. This is that type. Hey man, bite your fucking tongue, cuz the very first thing that we had was fisticuffs and motherfucking brawls before there was guns.
Who was you brawling with?
Fuck out of here. Of course you was brawling with other niggas. Of course. Exactly. And you was brawling with the Peckerwoods in school. Who 47.
That's actually what brought the guns.
47.
Hey, go ahead, Scan. What's your question?
And we were bashing these Peckerwoods heads in motherfucking elementary whenever they stepped out of pocket. Not just black people. Mark ass motherfucker. Always trying to save them.
What generation?
Y'all are imprinted on these devils, man, and that's sad.
Hold up.
Y'all are imprinted on them.
You're 3 years behind us, so
y'all are imprinted on them.
You was doing different than our generation.
I was paying attention to the whole motherfucking time. Ain't no fucking crash out. This is called passion.
Hold up.
This is called passion. You sound like these devils in the chat.
You said that our generation.
Ain't no crash out. This is passion.
Yo,
hold up. Hey, ain't no
don't do nothing. Let them fight you. Let them jump you. Let two of them jump you and don't do nothing.
He said passion.
Fuck out of here.
He said passion because my little brother. They your age. Hold up, y'all.
So far off
let me
the rails, man.
Hey, cuz you've been protecting these motherfuckers all night, cuz for real.
Off the rails.
I know what I hear.
Nobody said the guys shouldn't have fights and defend themselves. Nobody said that.
I know what I hear.
Nobody said that all fucking night. And we still talking about shit. The white guy would letting shit slide. What the fuck are you talking about?
No, he was actually talking to us.
What's your question, man? Hurry up, man. If you're going to say what your question is.
Nobody get 3 words out.
Question is.
He was actually talking to our generation, but you don't realize that's his shit now. He's 47.
Yeah, what's your question, Scam?
Yeah, let's say this shit.
All this bullshit that they're pitching, don't we know that it doesn't work? Don't we keep seeing it not working?
It does.
So why keep pitching, doubling up more of the same thing that don't work?
What's your solution?
And I get it. If y'all want to screw yourselves up into heads bashed in and fight over dumb stuff that don't mean nothing about nothing, cool. Have a conversation.
What's your solution?
But discipline should be taught. Y'all can't even be disciplined on a panel.
What's your solution?
Conflict resolution.
Okay.
Make the best decision possible.
Okay.
The best.
Okay.
Black Man Unfiltered.
How do you do that?
Yeah,
How
what's
do
the
you do
question?
that with the father that they had?
Okay, Black Man, I'm gonna throw this scenario out there.
Okay.
Fourth quarter, you're up by 1.
Yeah.
All you got to do is dribble out the clock. Somebody comes up to you, you black nigger man. It's time to crash out.
Right after they say, I'm gonna punch him dead in his fucking mouth.
You want nigga?
Okay, that was game 3. Now you suspended game 4, 5, 6, and 7, and y'all lose.
Well, it's just a game, but my life ain't. Don't play with me. Don't disrespect.
No, hold on. $20 million contract lost. Was it worth it?
Whoa. Okay, well, you want to use that scenario? Hold on.
No, I'm using this. No, hold on. Hold on, Black Man. I'm using it for a reason.
Let's be realistic. Let's use Myles Garrett. Let's use Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett tackled Rudolph. He hit the ground. He called him a nigger. He took the Rudolph helmet off his head and busted him in the fucking head with the helmet.
Black Man.
And a year later, he got $250 million, $300 million contract.
No, Black Man.
BMU.
No, hold on. I'm gonna use that example.
Let's do better. Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, just gonna keep throwing anything out.
Could have had. Y'all gotta do it anyway.
Throw anything out.
I know. Guess what?
He swung his helmet because he kicked him in the nut.
No, he said he called him a nigga. Go watch the interview.
They're always somebody called him something.
He took $100 million cut.
So
you gotta be able to prove it.
The perfect team to win the championship.
Go ahead.
A black man scam took $100 $100 million.
Yo, Will, man.
Look. When money's on the line, clearly this motherfucker's a charity, clearly for sale, and he expects everybody else to be.
The NBA.
Yeah, whatever.
So all somebody got to do is throw the N word. You throw your
hold on, y'all. Let me turn it back on scam. So scam. At what point would you defend yourself against anything?
Best decision possible. It's that simple.
This motherfucker is super.
There are times when, yes, you might want to run to see another day.
Shit.
Can a white man smack you in your mouth, scam?
Huh?
And you're not going to do nothing?
Say what?
If a white man smack you in your mouth, are you not going to do nothing?
Or if any man slap you in the mouth?
Yeah, because I don't know why y'all just throw white in there like it means something.
Hold up.
Oh, it definitely means something.
Yeah,
you gotta change 4 or 5.
Wait, y'all, hold up. I'm not even gonna do that. If a white man walk up to you and call you a nigger with the ER, what you gonna do?
Probably keep walking.
Hey! Somebody in my Facebook, book group said y'all need to stop arguing. And everybody need to try to grow their hair back. All y'all bald.
I can show you how long
Damn, I just noticed that shit, bro. I just noticed all you niggas ain't got no hair. That's fucking crazy.
Bald niggas make the best stepdaddies. That's why they ain't got no stepdaddies. You make the best daddies. You make the best daddies and the best stepdaddies. You long hair
y'all make the best
stepdaddies.
I'll tell you about them GNX and them boomers, boy. Y'all ain't shit.
So William, let me get this right. I got a good life and I'm chilling. I'm good. And I'm just going to get talent.
See, now you got Chinese.
Can I finish? Can I get a word out?
That was William. That's funny.
I got a good life.
You know what? William is like this because he's not on Hamp's panel, and Hamp don't let him get away with this shit. And so he's over here talking all this shit. You can't do that shit over
here. I got a good life, and I'm over here chilling.
Put your wide ass shoulders, back boy, back bitch. Yeah, I never could stand them.
Some other dude is mad because of white, because of black, because of Asian, or whatever. And they come and invite me to go into their loser life. And I'm supposed to take that invitation.
But,
when I can leave them moving and go live my good life.
BMU or Payne, I put my number in the back chat because I need some advice from y'all anyway.
Man, listen, I'll hit you up already.
And Hamp knows this as well. Hamp knows I'm doing my own channel as well. I want some advice, so y'all have my number in the back chat. Okay.
Hey, and I want y'all to understand too, as our pain probably coming to a close like a Baptist preacher in Florida. Tomorrow night, guys, if y'all want to come over tomorrow night and have a discussion, we're talking about Asians exposed.